Oh. Hello. Thank you so much for joining. Just finalizing a couple of little things here. All right. So, I think that's everything I need set up. Okay. So we have a little we have the 4th Walpurgis mini to get through before we actually start 7. So we'll be starting with that. Oh, what the? I wasn't expecting this. Okay. Easy mode. What the heck? Maybe take out Dawn for this?
저 살점을 찢으면
I got this.
더 붉게
I wasn't expecting that. Oh, here's the story. Okay. Alright. I did as you asked, Faust. I looked up toward Faust, away from the PDA in my hands, as it rattled and fixed the identity cards into each slot. Today is the 4th Walpurgis night. Hello, hello. The location. It's that same lobotomy court. Headquarters of the past we visited. Its point in time and the branch of possibility uncertain.
네, 감사합니다.
Thank you.
잠시 후에
Please
시련이
proceed with the
찾아오면
slotted
그
identities to
인격들로
suppress the
전투를
imminent
진행해 주시길
ordeal.
부탁드리죠.
Phew. I've slotted in lobotomy corp identities I pulled up during the previous Walpurgis nights. Faust probably wants to study the correlation between Walpurgis night itself and the identities that can be pulled up only during each Walpurgis night. Well, it ain't much of my business what identity we're supposed to wear, but can't you at least bother telling us where we are? I swear, it's always you two who...
맞아요. 두 분만 아는 얘기를 자꾸 속닥속닥 하시면
Yeah, I agree. We won't know what to do if you keep the important stuff just between the two of you, right? Yeah, what he said. I was trying to find a way to avoid sounding irritated. Aw. You have a way of mincing words, don't you? Thanks, lad.
네?
Huh? I guess.
성.
F you. Functionality upgrade?
사람을
Come on, don't talk about me like I'm a machine or something. Faust cleared her throat in an attempt to clear the air and stem the conversation from going on a tangent.
이곳은 구애사의 정보팀이라는 부서입니다.
We are at the Information Team Department of the former L Corp headquarters.
정보팀.
Information Team?
이전에는 분명
Well, do I recall that the place we have visited was called the Control Team Department?
매번 발푸르기스의 밤이
Maybe
올
they add a new
때마다
department with every Walpurgis
하나씩
night?
늘어나는 걸까요? 그런 것은 아닙니다. 당장 이 부서에
The training
연결된
team and the
교육팀이나
safety
안전팀도
team, both adjacent to this
가능한 것으로
department,
보이기
are
때문에.
currently accessible. Therefore, your assessment is untrue.
단지
However,
이곳으로
it is
연결된
possible
의미가
that there
있을
is a
수도
reason
있겠죠.
the first place
분석하다 보면
the
뭔가
door
알게 될
connected
수도
to
있을
was this
겁니다.
location. Perhaps further analyses may lead more concrete information. She's trying to take a more active role in learning things for herself. It seems that the events at the warp train rattled her more than I thought. She's probably concerned that similar loss of connection to that repository of Faust's knowledge may occur again. This place is pretty barren, huh? The more I look around, the more I see just purple. Huh? You got that right. Can't chalk that up to just being a corporate office, if you ask me. Doesn't seem like a great workplace environment at all. A good commander decorates their subordinates' living spaces with their morale in mind, even if it means going against their own tastes. Whoever heads this department must be somewhat quite unfit to lead.
그 사람 한 명만의
I bet they're
이야기는
not the only ones who's unfit to lead. Ishmael, who was rummaging through a pile of miscellaneous items, muttered from a distance as Otis mused at the ceiling.
여기에
I
직원들이
found some
낙서했던 게 좀
employee
있네요.
doodles It scribbles back here.
세피라.
Oh, I suppose the department leads were called Sephira. They're saying something about how their Sephira is... Whew, now that's some spicy profanity.
내가 직접 읽지.
I will read them. Merceau, you don't have to read the insults and profanities.
알겠습니다.
Understood.
그렇다면
In that case,
문서를
I will
읽고
instead peruse the
내용을
document
요약하도록
first and
하겠습니다.
produce a comprehensive summary. Sometime later. That is all. Okay, so, first of all, thanks for skimming past all the profanities, but... Wow, that made me feel bad. I've got nothing to do with this place.
부서의 책임자끼리 고성이 오가는
It is not
싸움이
uncommon to see department leads shouting and butting heads, but
차라리
perhaps a physical altercation would have been preferable to letting such a bitter animosity fester like this. It was clear to us that the Sephiroth did not share a very healthy work relationship with one another. Oh. Not to mention that not many employees really put their faith in their Sephiroth.
이 말쿠트라는 세피라.
Hey, this Sephira they call Malka. She must have been the Sephira of the control team department where we fought the ordeal last time.
직원들을 사지로
I can tell from the way she talks that she treats her employees like parts of a machine, driving them to their death, replacing them when they inevitably crumble. Guess a wing is a wing after all.
네. 여기
Yeah,
호드라는
look,
교육팀 세피라와의
here's a
대화
conversation
기록도
log
있네요.
with Hod, the Sephira of
처음에는 꽤
the
의견
training
다툼이
team.
있었던 것 같은데
Looks
아무래도
like she started off pretty
얼마나
rough,
상황을
but
피하게 된
managed to
것 같네요.
avoid making things hostile in the office.
자기 직원들을
From the sounds of it, she really cares for her employees. Oh well, that's a whole nother type of annoying though, you know?
그렇다면
Then her
본인
heart
또한
would never have
마음고생이
rested
있었을
easy
거야.
as long as she was here.
직원의
The
불만을
grievances of the
아예
employees
듣지
would have reached her
못하지는
ears
않았을 테니.
nonetheless.
그럼에도 불구하고
She may have given herself doses of
자신은
painkillers
이들을
she hid
위한다.
under the label of altruism, that she truly
그런
cared for
이름의
them despite it
마취제를
all.
스스로에게 계속 놓았을지도.
예소드라는
And
자는
this Yesid must have
이곳
been,
정보팀의
I see, the
세피라인가.
Sephira of the information
꽤
team
깐깐한
department here.
타입이었나 보군.
Clearly a stickler for the rules.
독서.
Learn all about Lobotomy Corp stuff.
직원을
Viper,
몰고
he was
다녔던
called.
겐가?
Perchance he had an unsavory habit of sinking his teeth into his employees.
비유라는 것을
It's
알도
only a figure of speech. He does seem like the irritating type, but he would have served as a decent
책사를 두기엔
strategist.
나쁘지 않았을 테니.
This appears to be a meticulous record of the work schedules. According to that digital calendar, the upcoming schedule is fast approaching. There is no time to share the details regarding the ordeal. I suppose we should have checked the documents first. A heavy thump of the lights follows Otis's deep sigh. The lobby light suddenly changed and the floor began to tremble. Well, can't say I'm surprised. We knew that ordeal was coming after all.
정보 없이 싸우는군.
Still, I wish we'd have some prior knowledge of our enemies this time. Oh my god, a screech! What in the name of wings is that creature? Vermin, is it? 'Tis so far, yet appeareth so grand in size. Naturally, we whipped around to look at Don Quixote, who then directed our attention towards something writhing in the distance. A thing of bizarre shape, crawling and squirming.
안전팀 복도에도 발생했군요. 그렇다면
If they have appeared in the safety team's quarters as well, then...
또야 또.
There's more! There's more! Faust, anything you could tell us about them before they start rushing us? I shouted, watching with horror as a curiously violet grub-like creature slowly spawned into the hallway from thin air. Even though she probably didn't have much to tell me about them anyway.
달려들지는 않을
They will
것입니다.
not rush us.
속도가 느린 게
There were
차라는
reports
보고가
that these
있었고,
entities are rather slow.
오히려
In fact, they're
자색,
an ordeal of violet. Time, dawn.
자색이라면
If they are indeed violet, then it is unlikely that we will have much time to discuss this further.
지금 당장
We must
안전팀 있는
immediately
쪽부터
engage
제압을
them,
시작해야
starting from
합니다.
the safety team hallway.
아마도
A similar
정보팀과
situation is
교육팀도
very likely imminent in the
같은
information
상황이 될
team and the
것입니다.
training team hallways.
뭐?
Huh?
어?
Huh?
저거 빨리
So
잡아야
what, we
되는
gotta
거야?
crush them like there's a timer or something?
네.
That would be an apt
아닙니다.
attitude, yes.
모든
The
부서에서
entities will soon be
발생할
manifesting in every
때는 이곳을
department.
처리하고
If we fail to
빠르게
quickly
다른
clear
부서를
this zone and
찾아보지
seek and
않는다면.
destroy them in the other departments, if we
방금
don't,
알고 싶지 않은
then we
난장판을
may come
경험하게
face
될
to
수도
face with
있겠죠.
the kind of pandemonium we would rather not have the displeasure of experiencing.
부서의 클리포트
Every
카운터가
cloth
전부
counter in
영으로
each
바뀌어버릴
department will immediately drop to 0.
환상체가
And thus,
전부 튀어나온다는
The abnormalities
말이구려.
contained within shall be released.
아이, 그것도
Oh,
개소리야.
bollocks! Come on. We just got off that bloody warp train. I think we've had enough of the wing shenanigans to deal with by now.
그러니까 잔말
Yeah,
말고
yeah.
무기 들어요.
Zip it and grab your weapon. I'm
먼저
going
갑니다.
in. Ugh! The fruit of understanding. Ooh. Gain understanding. What's understanding? Okay. Self-terminates. I don't like the sound of that. Okay. It deals SP damage too. Oh, I don't have Dawn here. Honglu's getting targeted by that. There we go.
어디에서도 볼 수 없을 색채로.
I'll be fine. It's also easy, so I just kind of wanted to know what they did. So I think after this, I'll see it show up in my mirror dungeon. Where like some of these might show up.
무아몽중.
Oh. Look at this one being a speedy boy. Envy fragility. Ooh. Just gonna target with that as a multi-hit. There we go.
그대는 어디까지 가고 있을지.
Oh. Oh, almost got it.
둘. 아비 교환.
예술적이네요.
Oh, all right, another winch. Okay, so that's staggered. Perfect. Just have Hong Lu deal with that one. Bleed. It's sinking on target. Okay, so switch to this one. This this one down.
그대는 어디까지 각오했을지.
Alright, that works. Was I too slow and they self-imploded? Yes. Doing stuff like this. Notice I'm not getting additional attacks. Target is not plus one punch.
그대는 어디까지 각오했을지. 너의 슬픈 날 여기 심장이 잠깐 전 들리세요?
한 쌍의 상황골과 24개의 늑골이 자아내는 티비아의 멜로디가
Oh. Okay, next thing is going to target you. Well, it doesn't, so.
그대는 어디까지 각오했을지. 그 슬픈 노래기 심장이 잠깐 저리.
Wave 3, last wave. Okay, we're almost done. Do this one.
어디에서도 볼 수 없을 색채로.
퇴장 시간이 되었답니다. 그럼 안녕히.
항상 저희 영감은
Feels like overkill.
아홉째 지리멸렬.
This thing's gonna die. Gruesome, horrible death. Seems about right for Hong, yeah.
훌륭한 단말만 해요.
Oh. Okay, 3 waves, now it's the boss. Yes. Huh?
소리면 붙일 생각 없었는데.
Oh, okay. We won, but everyone died. Sometime later.
다행이네요.
Whew, that's a relief.
공격하면
At least it wasn't
부서지는
indestructible. A rubble of broken stones lay about the exhausted sinners' feet. But that didn't last long.
역시
I see. It fades away to naught.
네.
Yes. While
아무래도
the entity
형태는
took the form of a
무기물의
stone
섭격품의
steel,
모습이지만
an object
그 자체를
commonly composed of
어딘가
inorganic
이상한
matter,
종교적
it is
존재
likely
취급을
that
갖고 있다는
its
것 같네요.
existence itself is perceived as a religious artifact in certain indeterminate locales. True. That giant object did suddenly appear out of thin air before dropping right in front of us. The steel, which had once threatened the sinners with its tentacles, or Stella. You know, I'm not sure how to pronounce that word. soon disappeared from our sight like it never existed. If Faust hadn't pushed me into the hallway just in time, I'd have been... Dante! Wham! We would have all died forever if that thing had crushed me too. We were not crushed by this stela, to be exact. The real issue was the shockwave that came after the crash. I thought I slipped away in time, but I had no idea the shockwave would be so deadly. We're going to have to find a way to deal with that shockwave somehow, or it'll be too risky to continue with our Walpurgis Night expedition. I'm not saying that I'm scared of the pain I have to go through when reviving the sinners, which really, really hurts, of course, especially when it's 12-fold, but I'm not sure if I want to ask them to repeatedly run a mission that's guaranteed to kill them in the end. Moreover, we don't even know if whatever we will find here will be worth all the trouble. According to the information given, it is said that ordeals cannot occur in immediate succession. They can't occur right after one another? What, did the giant piece of rock have nothing to do with an ordeal then? Yes, it was indeed an ordeal of Violet. However, this was the noon of Violet. Ordeals of the noon are a degree higher than ordeals of the dawn, which we already have experience with. Faust's brows were frowning at a nigh imperceptible angle. She was sighing even as she relayed that information to us, clearly perturbed by something. I suddenly recalled what Faust speculated back at the warp train, that the Gesellschaft may have made a purposeful omission. You think this is the Gesellschaft withholding information from you again? There is no evidence to say for certain. They did not withhold the information regarding the ordeal of noon. Thus, a more likely explanation is that this was merely a manifestation of a rare possibility. Yes, your suggestion does concern me. If it was indeed a manifestation of a rare possibility, then we must seek for clues in this Walpurgis Night that may point us to an explanation. So, should we explore further? But hello, everyone. Can you hear me? Oh God. The UI. They even used the UI. Of course they did. A loud buzz, crackle, an unfamiliar voice broke through the awkward silence we were meandering in. Blimey! Who said that? Oh, I hearken unto thee! Oh, I guess I can't hear your answers anyway. Ignore what I just said. Hello, this is Hod from the training team speaking. It appears that Sephira Hod, whose name we first learned of in the earlier document, is the one speaking to us. So this is her voice, huh? Gotta say, this is kind of what we all expected her to sound, right? We are all investigating how and why an ordeal of noon occurred immediately after the dawn. I have not played Library of Ruina. I've played a small bit of Lobotomy Corp, but I didn't get far enough to really know, or to really experience like everything as I was playing through it, but I did watch a lore video for Lobotomy Corp. So I know all about the Sephiroth and everything that happened, at least in Lobotomy Corp. I understand that an unfamiliar situation like this may cause a sense of alarm and anxiety, but there's nothing to worry about as long as you remember the instructions under the exception number 40-AA measure, which I made sure to mention in every training session. Exception number 40-AA. Just how many exceptions did she come up with? She must be a leader with a very hands-on approach to team management. Commanders who are overprotective of their personnel often make such mistakes. Guys, I don't think it's time to share our first impressions. We don't know what measures she's talking about. At this rate, we'll get... Oh. There was a dull thwack. Just as Sinclair began to air his concerns. Did I just get shot? You there at the lobby. You've been dozing off during our drills, haven't you? I'm pretty sure I explained that in outlier cases like these, we'll be firing physical intervention shield bullets we share with the middle layer. So why are you acting all surprised like you've never been shot before? Shield? Bullets? Huh? That bullet does look kind of familiar, actually. We carefully approached Sinclair to take a closer look at where the projectile hit him. Oh hey, I recognize this. This looks just like the decay ampule that almost melted me into a puddle back at K-Corp. Ugh. I'm getting unpleasant goosebumps just from thinking about it. You were totally badass though, Ishi. Jumping right in front of Dante, taking the bullets for them and everything. Yeah. Then she went ahead and hurled a bloody harpoon into Clockhead's shoulder herself, only a few months later. Like a good circular narrative structure. Okay, you smartasses. It is not a K-Corp ampule. Well, it's true that K-Corp's technology was used to regenerate its employees. A barrier field like this fundamentally differs from the type of technology used by K-Corp. It is said that Lobotomy Corporation maintained collaborative relationships with other wings, including K-Corp. Through the said collaborations, they obtained bullets and ampules of diverse functionalities useful for the workings of this company. It appears that this shield bullet is the result of one such partnership. Wait, and this bullet will... It is said that this bullet can particularly negate physical damage, which is also known as red damage in Lobotomy Corporation terminology. It will likely shield us from the shockwave created by the Stela as well. We'll have a counseling session later about your lack of focus during training. For now, please try to suppress this ordeal of noon as soon as possible. I'll give everyone a physical intervention shield, so let's try to take care of this ordeal with as few casualties as possible. Dante, let us. Oh, right. Let's get a move on and deal with the other Stelas as well. Indeed, it would be preferable if we returned after confirming the destruction of Stelas in other areas as well. We will have to visit the Lobotomy Corporation headquarters of different possibilities as well. We will make use of the Sephira and the shield as soon as we are able then. Good idea. Thanks to the unexpected support from a Sephira, we were able to explore further through the Walpurgis Night. All those trainings were for their own good. Is that so hard to understand? It was just that I couldn't help but think back to Hod's last few utterances that managed to slip through the static. It made me wonder what really went down here at the headquarters of Lobotomy Corporation. Oh, okay. I was like, we're gonna go fight all the Stelas? Or is that the hard? Yeah, there's the hard difficulty. Okay. So I think that's all there is to that, because that's just hard difficulty for the fights. Okay. We're off to Canto 7. This is interesting. Which treats the life and the contracts of the not-so-famous but valiant Don Quixote. Oh boy. Alright. Canto 7 begins. The night approacheth with great haste. Yet thou shalt hew open a path, cleaving the shadows in twain. With the blessings and approval of thy family, of which there is no equal. Challenge and vanquish all things perilous. And alas, reach true happiness. Thus how indubitable the magnificence with which mine ingenious adventures of today shall shine. Don Quixote makes me tongue-tied the most. Which is our adventure as well. You remember the words, right? A fixer must maintain a head clear of corruption, speech free of deceit, and conduct guided by conduct guided by clemency. Show courage in adventure and bear pain in suffering. And pray, forget not the mercy for the downtrodden. And last but not least, pursue your dream, even if it means wagering your life in the chase. Should you ever fail to stand by even one of these tenets, I'll smack you guys upside the head myself. Steel yourself and always, always keep moving forward.
그거 참
Is that not
치사한 협박이 아닐 수 없군.
a threat most unfair?
나를 치사하네.
Manager Esquire, how unfair of thee!
치사하다 말해.
Most unfair, I say! What is it this time?
이 몸의 차례가 온
For
줄
once have I
알았는데.
believed that 'twas my time to shine. Much did I wish to be the one to pull off the final flourish in its deserved splendor.
신문에
'Twas my chance to mark my name in the newspapers. Returning to P-Corp's warp train station seemed to always remind Don Quixote of our last misadventure. She'd repeated that exact same complaint a few times by now. Oh?
그런데
Wherefore dost thou make an expression of such great dourness, Manager Esquire? I don't even have a face, let alone an expression.
그렇지 않은
How
건
untrue,
아니.
how
보이지
untrue!
않는 것이
Dost
아닌가?
thou not see?
조그마한
All
동물이나
things blessed with
심지어
existence has
나무에
heart,
한참 타고
even the
하는
little
풀떼기라
critters,
하더라도
and indeed, even the
다
blades of
마음이란
grass,
것이
which
있다네.
most people bother not to
그러니
linger
당연히
even a
표정이
fleeting
있을
thought
수밖에.
upon. Forsooth, an existence of a heart necessitates an expression, wouldst thou not say?
그렇기에
That is to
우리는
say, we
어떤
mustn't
것이든
let the strength of the
약하다고
body be
무시하지
the
말고
scale with which we judge one's
모든
measure.
마음으로
Thus
정의를
persevere.
항상
Let
행해야
only
한다.
thy unbending heart be the tool with which thou didst dispense this justice. Hark, hark.
누가 절대
Typical Don
힘들겠냐?
Quixote bawling, yeah. Ugh, right out with it. Who encouraged the last this time?
듣고 있는가?
Hearken unto me, Manager Esquire! Some time ago, in the freight car of the warp train, Don Quixote? Hey, can you hear me? Say something. Don Quixote regards me silently. No, that's some eldritch being who I can't help but wish is Don Quixote, gazing at me. She opens her mouth. My instinct is screaming at me to not listen to her, but... Don Quixote? Has the... ended? No. I don't think it's ended. Is that so? Rocinante, to me. I beseech you. I don't know if I gave her the right answer. Though my answer was an almost instinctual relay of a thought that manifested in my head, Don Quixote closes her eyes upon hearing my reply, as though drifting away into a gentle, pleasant dream. And I carefully slipped the ragged pair of running shoes she called Rocinante onto her feet. And I make a silent wish. Let her blood-red eyes never, ever open again. Arrived? Have we arrived? Fie! What devilry is this? Whither hath thou villainous blood fiend gone? Don Quixote? Didst thou strike down the cur? And back to present.
아쉽긴 하네.
Kind of feel like we all missed out on something cool. Wish I was there with Faust and Dante when it all went down to see how you guys managed to kill that guy, you know?
엄밀히 말하자면
Let's not leave a certain someone out of the story. She was there as well, though she embarrassingly passed out like a coward in front of that blood
수치 그
fiend.
자체로
The shame of Limbus Company, I say.
림컴수
SOLC. Pathetic.
우리도 기절한
Come
건
on.
똑같지 않냐?
We all passed out too, didn't we?
역시
I suppose I
저라도
should have been there to
남아있었어야
take the
했는데
reins of the sinners.
그렇게 혈기가
Were you that
무서웠던
scared of
거예요,
that blood fiend, Don
그렇게 씨?
Quixote? That's okay.
괜찮아요.
I understand how
저
you
이해할
feel.
수 있어요.
Huh. A true hero standeth still and calm, unmoving in the face of such a base mockery.
확실히
I agree, Rhodia. I do feel like we missed out on something big.
저희가 본 건
Because when we got there in the aftermath, all we saw was a very confused-looking Dante standing over the blood fiend's exploded, melted parts. Huh? I was? Standing? Confused? Was I? Forsooth! Why didst thou wake me? I would have even forgiven thee for slapping my cheeks upside down.
그래서
So what actually happened in there? I already told you guys earlier, didn't I?
네?
What? You just trailed off with that's you know, until we changed the subject. What are you talking about?
혹시
Executive manager, perhaps you were in a similar state of explosive delirium to the one you experienced earlier. I am referring to the time when your head burst into flames. No, it's Otis began glaring at me warily as though my clock head was about to explode at any moment. That didn't happen. That didn't happen. Huh? Well, if you won't talk, then I'll turn to Miss Faust, our second eyewitness. Can I get some statements from you, madam? Rhodia asked confidently, still in the mood to play detective. Faust does not have any information she deems necessary to share at the moment. Gotcha! Then right back to you, witness Dante. Listen up. I have an important announcement to make, so pay close attention. I have no idea if it was a coincidence or not, but Virgilius stepped in at just the right moment to divert the sinners away from me. As you are all well aware, we have been contracted by P Corp to work on a case here. I suppose we've done this song and dance enough times for you to know what's coming. Right. I suppose we'll be having a scuffle, song, dance, whatever the higher-up toffs want with distortions or abnormalities or what have you. Did I get that right? Aha! And 'tis a quest that leads us to lay claim upon another golden bough in our hands, is it not? Don Quixote replies, brimming with excitement. Yes. Well, if the two of you were able to catch on that quick, then I don't suppose any further elaboration is necessary. However, this operation will be somewhat... No, let me correct myself. This operation will be drastically different from anything you have done so far. It may be one of our most bothersome missions. Well, when hasn't it been like that?
갑자기 이 인원의 3배 정도 되는 사람들 사이에서 단체로 움직이거나 하면 좀 껄끄러울 수
I guess it would be
있겠지만
pretty bothersome to have to tag along with a group that's 2-3 times larger than our own, but
수감자들의 감은
the sinner's intuition appears to be growing sharper by the day.
정말
True. Oh, are we actually?
저 그냥
You know what? I think I'm just going to
무턱대고 추측하는
keep these
말은
guesses to
하지
myself
말까
from
봐요.
now on. It's not something that can be negotiated. Well, isn't it better to join a group 3 times our size rather than to oppose it?
합동 작전을 한다는 것인가?
Will this be a joint operation then? Who will we be working with? Can't say I have the fondest memories of joint operations.
아팠던 기억이었어.
Memories of pain, if you will. Our mission at K-Corp was our first and last experience with a joint operation. I still vividly remember watching Merceau's arm flying off, smacking against the pillar and squelching onto the floor. A more accurate recounting of the event would have included the fact that my scapula was also forcibly separated from my torso. Can't we just keep this between us? The other guys will just get in our way and screw everything up.
저 녀석의 말에 적극 동의하게 되는 건 오랜만이군.
Can't believe I'm saying this, but I strongly agree with that one.
오만한 발언이군.
How presumptuous of you all.
너희들만 그런 생각을 가지고 작전에 참여하지는 않을
You do well to remember that you are not the only team coming into this operation harboring such arrogant thoughts.
이번 의뢰는 해결사 총괄
This
협회
contract is, after all, an open contract posted by the Hana Association, the association overlooking the operations of fixers. Virgilius stopped himself, noticing an ominous aura from one of the sinners. There stood Don Quixote, practically vibrating with excitement. Someone gag Don Quixote at your earliest convenience. Yeah, allow me.
죄구멍만한 사무소의 해결사가 아닌
Anyway,
어느 정도 인지도가 있는 협회 소속 해결사들의 모임이
this means that our colleagues joining this operation won't be any ragtag bands of fixers from some alleyway office no one's ever heard of. It's very likely that fixers from somewhat established associations will be joining us. Oh boy. You stop wriggling your lips!
가만히 놔둘 순 없나?
I'm so glad Otis was here to stop Don Quixote from exploding into joy. Because if she hadn't, we'd be drawing the attention of every single person in a sizable radius around us.
그래서 뭐 어떤 걸 처리해야 되는 건데?
Right, so, what kind of monster are we dealing with this time?
아니,
More than that,
어떤 식으로
how do they want it
처리하는지가
done?
궁금해.
Sizable? The shortest, short.
해결사처럼 말씀하시네요.
You're talking like some shady backstreets fixer. Virgilius looked up just as Heathcliff asked his question.
자세한 건
Further details
때마침 우리에게
will be
걸어오고
shared by our
있는
client who
의뢰자에게
graces us with her
들어보도록
timely
하지.
arrival. Hello. Enormous amount from someone short. Oh boy. In which is explored Limbus Company's not exactly first alliance with the Wing. Who are you? She's the one we were supposed to meet here at the station.
이거 특색 붉은 시선님을 뵈어 영광이군요.
My, what an honor this is to meet the Red Gaze himself in the flesh.
그 외에도 모두들
Everyone,
반갑습니다.
I am pleased to meet you
저는
all.
피사 아카이빙
I'm
부서의
Cicera,
부장 채사라입니다.
head manager at P-Corp, Archival Department.
아카이빙 부서?
Archival
뭔가 기록하는
Department?
일이라도 하는
So
건가?
you are bookkeepers then?
그렇다고 할 수 있죠.
In a manner of speaking,
다른 날개는
yes.
몰라도
It is a rather significant
피사에서는
department
꽤
within
중요한
P-Corp,
부서랍니다.
regardless of how other wings treat their own archivists.
그런 중요한 부서의 부장이
If
찾아왔다는
bigwigs
건
like the head manager of such an
정말로
important
이 회사가
department is here to
빙빙해진
see
건가?
us herself, then. Boy, I guess we're really putting our names out there.
틀린 말은 아니네요. 당신들
Not
림버스
entirely
컴퍼니에 대한
incorrect
이야기는
assessment.
건너건너서 들려오더라고요.
I did hear some things about you and Limbus Company through the word of mouth.
뭐라더라.
What was it?
황금가지라는 것만 얻을 수 있다면 죽음까지
yes.
불쌍해서 의뢰를
A
성공시켜
medium-sized enterprise with its employees gladly braving death to see a contract to its end, all just to obtain these golden bows.
틀린 말은 아니지만
That's true, I guess, but... Hey, she's actually making us sound pretty impressive, huh? Forsooth! I and my dearest compatriots have vanquished countless evils through all kinds of hardships and deadly foes. Brave death indeed! The other sinners were more confused than impressed by her description, but it was clear from Don Quixote's practically twinkling eyes that she was immensely infatuated by it.
이쪽에서도 이번
We did
의뢰에
receive a
대한
brief of
대략적인
this
내용을
contract.
전달받았습니다. 다양한
A
해결사들이
particularly
모여
stubborn
수차례나
urban
토벌을
nightmare
시도하고
case,
있는
which
도시
all kinds of fixers have
방공급
failed to rout
사건이
despite their
있다고.
repeated attempts.
맞아요.
Correct.
해결사들이 올 때마다
I doubt it is
선수,
customary for the head manager of an entire
당신
department to
같은
greet every
사람이
no-name fixer
마중
office
나와줄
looking to
일은
make a name
없었을
for
테고.
themselves.
네,
Correct
그것도 안
again.
맞습니다.
더군다나
And seeing how you've gone to the
공식적인
links to
자리도
privately
아닌
deliver this
곳에서
particular
의뢰를
contract to
전달한다는
our
건
hands,
우리에게 원하는 게 도시 악몽의
this isn't a simple
아니라
urban nightmare eradication contract, is it?
그 이상의
I sense
뭔가를
that your expectations of us
해내주었으면
extend
하는
beyond
기대가
simply defeating it.
느껴지는군요. 아까 말한 대로 죽음까지
Mm.
불사하면서 무언가를
There must be a
해둘
particular
것이라는
task you're
기대가.
expecting us to brave death for, given your emphasis.
이상한 기분이네요. 굳이 숨길
What an
셈도
odd
아니었지만
feeling.
간파당한
I wasn't
느낌.
going to hide it from you anyway, but it feels as though you're reading me like an open book. We stared in dumbfounded silence as Virgilius effortlessly cut through the hoops to get to the core of the contract.
맞아요. 토벌 대상이 있는
Yes,
위치
your
어딘가에
people were quite blunt about
황금가지라는
this
게
when you
있다고요.
contacted us first.
이건
That there's
당신들
this
쪽에서
golden bough
우리에게
somewhere
먼저
near our
연락을 취해서 말한
eradication
정보죠.
target.
처음에 그 연락을 받았을 때
My,
얼마나
I was so astonished
황당했던지.
when I picked up that call. Your
황금가지가
people
뭐냐는
refused to
말에도
answer our
정확하게
questions,
대답을
refused to
해주지도
tell us what those golden boughs are,
정확한 좌표는
insisted that we let your people
구역으로
inside the zone to
들어가야지만
confirm
알
the
수
exact
있다고.
coordinates.
난
I almost thought it
장난전화인
was
줄
a prank call or
알았다니까요.
something.
하지만
I
그
believe we
소문을
also made you an
결코
offer you
거절하지
couldn't
못할
refuse.
제안도 한번
장담하는데
I don't know if it's a particularly versatile agent or a very proactive intelligence
유능한
department.
정보부서가 있을
But
거예요.
your company has some serious intel gathering capabilities. Cesara let out a deep sigh and leaned against the wall, her shoulders slumping slightly.
그래서 토벌해야
So,
하는 게
what
정확히
exactly
어떤
are we
건가요?
eradicating this time?
여러 해결사가
Given that we
모인
have
걸
hopeful
보면
fixers queuing up to join the mission.
지난번처럼 지부에서
What,
탈출한
is an
황성치라도
escaped
어딘가에
abnormality
돌아다니고
wreaking
있는
havoc
건가요?
somewhere like last
혹은
time?
뒤틀림이라고나
Or is it a distortion? Because if it is, Cesara wordlessly stared at Ishmael as she began to rapid fire her list of questions. Right. Forgot to explain. So, abnormalities and distortions are the kind of monsters that may look similar at first glance. If only your problem was just another monster to deal with.
더 좋았을.
Something that caught my eye immediately after we arrived at this place. The missing persons flyers? Countless flyers, each in search of a different person, were taped to the pillars inside the station. Looks like people at P Corp are randomly going missing in no discernible age or gender patterns. So Sarah, realizing that we were staring at the wall of missing person flyers, began.
전단지가 떼어지지 않고 종이가 너덜거릴 때까지 붙어 있다는 건
As you can see, the flyers are all old, faded, and tattered to the point where the papers are starting to peel off.
여전히 그들이 집으로 무사히 돌아오지
Which
않고
means
있다는 뜻이죠.
that none of them have returned home safely.
토벌해야 하는 건
So we're not dealing with an
아니라
entity then.
현상인가?
It is a phenomenon.
행복한 미소가 꽃피는 곳.
The land where the happiest smiles bloom.
옛 이야기 속의 놀이공원
Amusement park
라만차랜드죠.
of fables and legends. La Mancha Land.
라만차 랜드.
집계가 된 실종자만
More than several dozen people have been reported missing.
아마 실제로는
But the real
그
number is
이상이겠죠.
likely much higher.
2달 전 피사 뒷골목에서
Most of the
나타난
guests who visited
이
La Mancha
라만차랜드의
Land,
입장은
which mysteriously
방문객들은
materialized 2 months ago at the back streets
오늘까지도
of P Corp,
대부분 퇴장하지 못하고
are
있습니다.
still trapped within.
실종? 오로지
They have
즐거움을
gone missing,
가득히
thou
담았다는
sayest?
놀이동산에서
Yet how can that be?
오직
'Tis
그러니
against the nature of amusement parks to be so full of horror, not joy.
제게 할당된 직원들만으로는 처리가 불가능했어요. 생긴 지 사흘 만에
I simply did not have enough manpower under my authority to deal with this. It was designated an urban plague 3 days after its appearance, and now it's been escalated to an urban nightmare.
하지만
Curious.
도시의 별도 아니고
If it is a
도시
mere urban
악몽
nightmare,
정도라면
not even a star of the city, then
피사가
shouldn't P.
자력으로 해결
Huh?
가능한 수준이라고
If it is a mere urban nightmare, not even a star of the city, then shouldn't P Corp be able to easily handle this on its own? Oh, okay.
그게 다른 부서에서는 그리
That's the
주목하지 않는
thing.
현상이라
The other departments aren't really interested in this phenomenon.
투입되지
Which means that the
않았거든요.
Marshal Department won't be sending their elite employees to handle this case.
왜?
What?
왜 피사에서는
Yeah, wherefore?
그들을
Wherefore doth
투입시켜주지
P-Corp
않겠나?
not deploy their elite forces to swiftly vanquish this risk to the lives of the innocent? Don Quixote was now completely and emotionally invested in this gripping tale of tragedy that our client was sharing. Sarah seemed to be enjoying Don Quixote's excessive, almost theatrical reaction.
이 현상이 나타난 장소가
Because the
뒷골목이니까요.
phenomenon only affects the back streets.
둥지였다면
Imagine if it
당장이라도
happened somewhere
앞집
within the
부서의
nest.
정예 요원들을 배치했을
Squadrons
거예요.
of lead agents from the compression department would have descended the moment it manifested.
그쯤 하시죠, 제사라부지.
That's enough beating around the bush, head manager Cesara. What more are you hiding?
당신의 직책이라면
It would have been a walk in the
다
park
부서
for
직원을
someone of your
투입해달라는
status and station to
협조
requisition agents from a
일도
different
아니었을
department.
것이고, 림버스 컴퍼니를 선택한
So explain.
이유는
Why did you really go through the trouble of hiring Limbus Company?
네네. 나 참
Yes,
못
yes.
이기겠군요.
My, you really are unrelenting.
알겠어요.
Fine,
자백하겠습니다.
I confess.
저희 부서의
The goal of our
목적은
department
라만차랜드를 없애는 것이
isn't the
아닙니다.
eradication of La Mancha land. Huh?
자,
Now,
당신들은
you will soon be
또
heading
다른
into La Mancha
해결사들과
land
함께
with the other fixers.
라만차랜드로 향하게 될 것입니다. 한 가지
A
조언을
piece of
드리자면
advice, if you will,
당신들이
do
황금
not
가지를
let the other
찾으러
fixers
왔다는
know that you
사실을
are here to find the
다른
golden bow.
해결사들이 알게 하지 마세요. 황금 가지라는 미지의 것이
If I were to somehow found out that there is this mysterious artifact called the golden bow hidden somewhere within that zone,
해결사들에겐 또 다른 보상으로
음.
여겨질 수도 있으니까요.
it could start
괜히 저들을
attracting
자극하지
unwanted
말라는
attention from
소리죠.
fixers who consider it a bounty separate from the eradication reward. No need to stir the pot.
물론 눈치껏 저희 부서의 목표가
And I'm sure you are all
라마차랜드의
savvy
토벌이
enough to
아니라는
know that it
것도
would be wise to keep quiet about the
상관없겠죠.
true objective of our department. If you know what I mean.
한마디로
I hear you loud and
피사와
clear.
림버스
Let's keep
컴퍼니
this
서로가
hush-hush
원하는
between
것을
P-Corp and
조용히
Limbus
얻고
Company.
처리하자는 소리.
We both get what we want, and we
정도로
can go our
유추할 수
separate ways
있겠네요.
once this business is over. No fuss, no muss. Did I get that right? That's
정리가
a pretty good
깔끔하시네요.
summary.
너무 얕잡아 보지 말도록.
Who do you think we are?
그렇게 멍청하게
I can tell you right now that when it comes to upset, some of us might fall slightly behind.
이제 슬슬 본론으로
It's about time we got to the
향하겠습니다.
point. We're only attracting more unwanted eyes by lingering here. That's
그렇네요.
true.
라만차랜드로
Here is
들어가
your mission. Enter La
그곳을
Mancha
최초로
land,
만들어낸
find the thing, or
무언가
someone,
혹은
that created La
누군가를
Mancha
찾은 뒤
land, and bring it to
저에게
me.
데려오세요.
누군가?
Or someone?
무언가일 수도 있다.
The thing
정보가
or
없죠.
someone is too insufficient a
생물인지
description.
무슨 일인지도 알
We
수
don't
없는
even
것이다.
know if what we seek is made of organic or inorganic material.
단순히 라만찰란드를
So why do
없애는
you
걸로
need the
끝나는 게 아니라
Thing, person
만든
who
사람이
created La
필요한
Mancha
이유는
land?
뭔가요?
Shouldn't eradicating it be enough? Ha! Cesara's eyes twinkled for a brief moment as they lingered on Sinclair.
왜 그러시나요?
Did I say something wrong?
그런 질문을
I
감히
don't
할
know.
거라는 생각
I suppose I was flabbergasted by your boldness of daring to ask a question like that.
제가 당신들에게
Notice how
황금
I'm not
가지를 왜
asking you
찾아
why
헤매고
you're
있냐는
looking for the
질문을
golden bows.
하지 않았.
Ah,
뭐 굳이 숨길 만한 내용은 아니지만요.
well, it's not like a big secret or anything.
굳이 말씀드리자면 그 피해에 대한 책임을 묻기 위해서죠.
If you really do want to know, here it is. I just want whoever, or whatever it is behind this case to be held responsible for the damages they've caused.
맞는 말이지.
Forsooth, a villain who hath
그런
committed
짓을
such
저지른
wicked
자에겐
atrocity deserving the punishment
처벌을
most
내려줘야 하는 법.
fitting.
그리고 겸사겸사 다른 부서들을 제칠 만한 성과를 올려서 간만에 승진하면 더
As a little
좋고요.
bonus, I get to put some achievements under my belt and give my department a little push to rise above the others. I could use some promotion right about now, you know.
어차피
I
우리가
suppose it doesn't
받아들이냐와는
matter whether we
관계없이
accept your proposition or not.
윌슨과는 이야기가 다 끝난 사항이겠지.
You must have already reached an agreement with the top brass of our company.
만약 우리가 그것을
Right,
직접
but
없애버리는
what if
데
after kicking the
성공한다고
phenomenon's arse, we don't bother bringing in the bloke who made that
만들어도
bizarre amusement park?
그땐 어쩔 거냐?
What'll you do then? Heathcliff spoke crassly, but it was a reasonable question. After all, there was also a chance that we could fail to bring the culprit here, even if we wanted to. Well then, I suppose we'll start looking into what these golden boughs are, even if we won't get our hands on them immediately. Ha! So you'll start getting in our way if we don't bring you what you want? Is that it? It would be a rather unnecessary and cost-ineffective research investment, of course. But you just might force our hand if you don't do as we requested. Besides, while La Mancha Land is only an urban nightmare at the moment, its threat level is rising exponentially. That means that more and more people in the city are beginning to catch wind of this case. Numerous fixers from all over the city are gathering here at this very moment to eradicate La Mancha Land, to demonstrate my point. So, you're saying that we're not your only option. One who doesn't love fame and fortune? We could always get a truckload of willing participants if we wanted to. Oh, and maybe, just maybe, some fixers among them may find themselves becoming particularly interested in these golden boughs. I swear, these precious artifacts must have a particular smell that attracts fixers like bees to honey. Got it. You want this mission taken care of before the phenomenon attracts too much attention. Oh, you're cutting right through the fluff again. Anyways, you got that right. Isn't it so fortunate how we both seem to be under the impression that what each of us is looking for won't be of much use to the other? For now, at least. I suppose that is why you're keeping the nature of those golden boughs discreet, and that is why we're keeping it on the down low about what created La Mancha Land. Agreed. The more eyes observe an info, the less value it has. Like run-of-the-mill mass-produced products. Of course, it's all work talk. I got excited for a sec, thinking we were about to get some nice souvenirs. We have very high expectations for every single one of you. After all, you're all willing to die for this, aren't you? She keeps saying that. Maybe she's done her own research on us. This is what every single one of our contracts has been like. Our stability and safety go out the window the moment a mission begins in earnest. We share nothing but our cold goals and objectives, not exchanging anything deeper than the shallowest transactions. I've grown to accept this as inevitability, but I do know that this is probably not the right way. Amidst the dull and resigned eyes of the other sinners, Don Quixote's eyes alone burned with passionate fire. Thou mayest put thy faith in us, head manager Cesara. I, Don Quixote, and my compatriots here at Limbus Company shall put an end to the terrible reign of this La Mancha land, and rescue every single victim it hath claimed. And mark my words, we shall pinch this vile rascal who created La Mancha land by the collar and present them before thee. Prithee, smite them with the hammer of justice in everyone's stead. My. You certainly know how to inspire confidence. That's more than I can say for the vast majority of fixtures I've known. I, Don Quixote, shall battle valiantly and honorably. Thus shall my name be forever etched in the halls of P-Corp. Don Quixote was bouncing up and down like she was prepared to stand at Cesar's beck and call. Please stop. This woman certainly wasted no time figuring out how to turn her into putty in her hands. Really ain't that difficult to see how the last works, to be fair. Well then, shall we get a move on? Let us depart! Lead the way, Lady Cesara! Oh, I'm sorry. Sadly, I can't go there with you. Please head to the location marked on this piece of paper. Yet wherefore? A journey on thy lonesome shall be so dreary, no?
당연하잖아요.
Isn't it obvious?
온갖
We show up at the
해결사들이
Fixers
모여있던
Gathering with the
곳에서
head manager of a
우리가
whole
저
department in
부장이랑 같이
tow.
들어가면
We'll attract more eyes than
순식간에 인기
superstars
스타가
on
될
red
거예요.
carpet.
응.
Yep.
우리랑
I'm
피사가
sure they'll
모종의
sniff out our
연결고리가
connection to P
있다는
Corp at a
냄새를
glance.
바로 맡게 되겠지.
Yet, are not stars of super variety a good goal to strive for? Justice waits for no one, I guess. Yeah. Tokyote. This might come as news to you, but sometimes words can mean more than one thing at a time.
현장은 뒷골목에
Here's a
있으니
pass that'll let you move
통행권을
freely between the
나눠드릴게요.
back streets and the Nesta
당분간
P Corp.
피사의 뒷골목과
Do
통지를
note that it's a work
자유롭게 오갈
visa,
수 있는
however, so it
특수
won't
업무
last
비자입니다.
forever.
역시
They can just hand out something so important this easily. I can't imagine why her department won't be able to handle it themselves. Sinclair was still quietly suspicious, but that small doubt was practically buried in the brief commotion that followed as the sinners gathered in front of Cesara to receive their visa. I like this city structure in the background here. It's pretty cool. Combat! Okay. Alright, we'll add you in so you can play off of Yiseng.
교류회. 설레네요.
Cesar's directions led us to an empty lot in the back streets.
뭐야 여기?
The hell is this now?
뒷골목은 보통
This ain't like the
건물들이
tight
단지가
alleyways of the
빽빽하게
back streets
많은데
I know.
왜
What's this
여기만
huge empty lot
텅 비어 있어?
doing here?
그러게.
Right?
뒷골목에서
Weird.
이
It's
정도의
rare,
땅을
rare
노리는
to see
건
this much
흔치
real
않을
estate go
텐데.
unused in the back streets.
이유는 모르겠지만 건물에
There are a bunch of
현수막도
banners hanging by the
여기저기
buildings for
붙어있네요.
some reason too.
너희는 현장을 보고 있도록.
Miss Faust and I will
나는
converse with the
잠시
person in
파우스트
charge.
씨와 함께
The rest of you
담당자를
assess the situation in the
만나고 오지.
meantime.
그때까지
Don't start any
얌전히
trouble. Don't start
아니,
too much trouble
큰
until we
사고까지
return.
가지 말도록.
I like how he readjusted his statement there.
여부가 있겠는가?
Thou mayest place thy faith in us. He's given up on the slim hope that we won't be getting into any trouble without him.
자, 그럼
Well, let's see what we're working with here. The empty lot was surrounded by all kinds of warning signs and perimeter tapes deterring anyone from haphazardly wandering inside. When we reached out to grab the tapes to duck under them, Dude, hey! Dude! A voice rang out, stopping us in our tracks.
네?
Yeah? I mean, what? Alright. That'll be nice, since it doesn't seem like you guys know what you just walked into. This place is off limits, okay? Off limits. Fixers only, like me and the rest of the people gathered here, yeah? Fixers. Civvies aren't allowed on the operation grounds. Jeez, these P Corp folks sure are sloppy with their perimeter job.
잠깐만.
Wait,
뭐죠?
why did you look at me when you said
왜
that?
저만 쳐다보면서
Why? Oh, thou art concerned for our safety? No worries, good man, no worries. Fixers we may not be, but the daring heart of justice that burns within thee is just as bright in our own. Forsooth, we are prepared to brave death to see it. Don Quixote confidently leaps over the warning tape and scampers into the empty lot. Hey! Do you have any idea what you're walking into? Hark! We arrive here on a contract just as you. The contract for the eradication of La Mancha land. I could practically hear everyone in the empty lot turning around to look at us. The looks in their eyes could hardly be described as friendly. In fact, their alarm at our arrival was palpable. That's when one of the fixers, wielding a massive weapon, strode in our direction. You're here for the hunt, you twerps? Oh man, silly me. I forgot to do maintenance for weapons. I don't have time for this. I guess I'll go take care of that now. Bye. The obnoxious guy, who was clearly way in over his head, hurried away when the giant of a fixer stomped his way into the conversation. And the other fixtures shook their heads as though they knew what was about to happen. You're clearly not fixers from an association. Obviously not anyone from an office of even passing renown. How many more of these small-time freeloaders are we going to take on? Except any more of them, and we'd end up having to split on of that reward money between us. Heard of getting these bloody tossers rearing for a fight, eh?
옷에는 송곳니 사냥 사무소라고 써 있긴 하다만 송곳니
Emblems on their garbs patently say Fang Hunt Office, yet to hunt fangs has to mean... You even seen one of them in person before?
무엇을 말인가?
Prithee, seen what? Blood fiends.
혈귀?
Blood fiends? Wait, we're dealing with blood fiends in this contract?
이 임무에 혈귀가 연관되어 있다는 것은 전달받지 못한
We were not informed of any blood fiend involvement in this contract. Would you look at that? Know nothing amateurs, all of them. Makes my blood boil to watch idiots like you rushing to nab a contract just for the promise of some cash and fame. Not only do you get in the way of the hunt, but you also really spoil the fun out of this activity.
아니 왜? 돈만 보고
Say
오는
what?
게 잘못인가?
What's wrong with keeping your eye on the money?
로저 씨,
Rhodia,
아마도 이 자들은
I don't think they're
거벌
here just for the
현상들이
contract
목표가 아니라
reward.
그래.
Yes.
이 사건
This
자체
case seems to hold a
특별한
special
의미를
meaning to
부여하는
them.
자들이군.
Fools driven by their
단순히
creed are
돈으로
much more
움직이는
troublesome to
자들보다
deal with than simpletons
골치 아픈
motivated
일이지.
by money. I refuse to take part in an operation alongside these idiots who don't even know what it's like to deal with blood fiends.
닥커.
Shut the fuck up. As much as I would like to avoid entertaining you amateurs, I'll admit the curiosity has gotten the better of me. What did she just say to me?
닥쳐라.
Shut the fuck up, you arrogant son of a...
닥쳐라.
It was shut that flap hole, ugly. Subversion of expectations. Look at Ryoshi's face. She's just like, what? Oh!
이번엔
Looks like
속마음이
you
좀
let a
더
bit of your
들어가신
personal
모양이네요.
feelings bleed into that interpretation.
하지만 그런 단축도 마음에
Well, yours wasn't half bad. Anyways, this isn't our first blood fiend contract, you know. It may not be much, but we dealt with them before. We don't deserve to get talked down to by you like that. Not one of us.
적어도
At least when it comes to fighting.
다
Great
좋았는데
comeback, but I'm docking a few points for that
뜬 뜻을
hesitation there. So this ain't your first rodeo, eh? Then show me what you got. Let's see if you're all talk or if you're real hunters ready for the real deal. What? Mate, are we really doing this here? Before we even set foot in there? I'm telling you, we've got permits and everything. Don't be a baby. I'll hurt you just enough to send you home crying. Will a broken arm and a leg convince you? You'll thank us on your train home. I'd say an arm and a leg are much more acceptable losses than getting your blood brutally drained by a blood fiend. Alright, I need to get something to drink.
그대는 어디까지 가고 있을지.
again.
그대는 어디까지 각오했을지.
So I can pour my drink.
어중간한 예술.
Come up, back in the
물어뜯어 고칠 수밖에.
마지막으로 남길 만
더 야성적인 깊이로.
들리세요? 한 쌍의 상황골과 24개의 늑골이 자아내는 티비아의 멜로디가
그 슬픈 눈빛 하나.
임파스터.
예술적이네요.
어디에서도 볼 수 없을 색채로.
훌륭한 단말만 해요.
Using this as an opportunity to eat some food.
아듀.
소바주.
Instead of trying to eat it while talking.
마지막으로 남길 만은
필연적. 절대적.
감상은 어떤가요?
항상 저희 영감을 일깨워 주시는군요.
약지에 감긴 세 바퀴의 반지는 마에스트로가
some
되기 위해
vouchers for leveling
인정받은
up.
세
Hell
가지
yeah.
작품을 뜻하죠. 비록 지금 제 작품이 만인의
Will
신금을
the Feller
울리지는
Company upon our
못하더라도
departure from the Red Gaze's hands.
여전히 반지에
Oh, no.
부러지지 않은 작품을 선보이고 있는 것 같네요.
Well, I have a feeling Dawn, of course, will become a fixed one at some point. So for now,
교류해. 설레네요.
the team is good.
영감이 떠올랐어요. 영감이 떠올랐어요.
정해진 운명이라네.
더 야성적인 깊이로.
아듀.
이제 힘이 졌나요?
예술적이네요.
영감이 떠올랐어요.
그 슬픈 눈빛 셋째.
어중간한 예술은 물어뜯어 고칠 수밖에.
제 속에 가져가네요.
Food hath been devoured.
외면의 초월. 지령에게 불합치한 것은 없네.
훌륭한 단말만 해요.
탄산의 두께
이상하지 않아요. 어중간한 예술은 물어뜯어 고칠 수밖에.
Victory. All right. Your
도대체 그런 변신
transformations.
기술,
I must say,
듣도 보도
haven't
못한
seen
기술을
anything
쓰는군.
like it before.
야, 이 정도면 혈기
Not enough
들고 먹어
demonstration
집사발
for
만들
you,
조건은
you
되냐?
twit.
그래, 이 정도면 인정할 수밖에 없지.
Fine. I'll admit, you've got some skill.
생각보다 괜찮은 놈들이 왔는데 제 몫을 할 줄 아는 해결사는 언제나
Another
환영이지.
one. Oh, they're not half bad. We always welcome cooperation with fellow fixers who can carry their own weight.
이제 보니 너
Hey,
전에 워프
I
승강장
recognize
앞에서
you.
떠들던
I saw you guys
길들구나.
busily chatting away
되게
back at the
바빠
warp
보인다.
train platform.
Huh?
My name's Romero, by the
나는
way.
로메로야.
일행이 싸우는데
You just sat there and
뒤에서
watched as your
구경하고
men were
있었던
out
건가?
here fighting?
처음부터 구경했던 건 아니고
Yeah, but the
중간부터
fight was
봤어.
already underway when I got here.
어차피 얘네들은
And I doubt I
말려도
would have been able
내
to
말은
talk them
잘 안
out of it.
듣거든.
Besides,
그리고
I had a
아까
feeling that you
보니까
guys could hold your own
쉽게 당할
against my
실력도
men.
아니길래. 이해해줘. 나쁜 친구들은
So please
아니야.
allow me to ask for your
혈기들을
understanding.
사냥할 때
They're not
온갖
bad
일을
people.
겪다
They're
보니
just on
조금
edge.
예민한 거지.
Anyone would be after what they've gone through in their struggles against the blood fiends.
이해하오.
You
그런
have my
존재를
understanding.
사냥하다 보면
Hunting
많은
entities
것을
such as
의구심을
those who
품을
lie
수밖에
beyond the
없을
ken
테니.
must plant seeds of doubt in many a heart of men.
사실 나도 얘들 의견을
Right,
부분적으로는
and I do
동의해.
agree with them, at least
토벌
partially.
상대에 비해서
The bar set by B
기사와
Corp and the
하나를
Hana
뺏어내건
Association for
토벌
Fixers
참가조건은
participating in this contract
지나칠
is
정도로 분별력이
shockingly low and indiscriminate.
떨어져. 나였다면 그런
For up
식으로
to me,
조건을
I would have
낮춰서
set a more
모색하진
strict
않았을
set
거야.
of conditions. His friendly smile faltered slightly as he gestured around the empty lot.
저쪽 천막
Look
주위를
around,
둘러봐.
over there by the command tent.
뭘
Just
알고
one look at who
쏘는
we're
놈들이
working
있긴
with, and
한지.
I'm sure it'll become
이런
plenty
건
clear
전문가에게
they don't know
맡기는
what
게
they're
제일
walking
안전했을
into.
텐데 말이야.
They should have hired only the professionals to take on this contract. Around the command tent, we all simultaneously turned to look at the large, noisy tent. Whoa!
여러분들 봤어?
That's an outfit.
저기 입구 쪽에서 싸움 난 거? 정말 난장.
Wow, chat, is this for real? There was a huge brawl by the entrance. It's a real amateur hour out here, guys. Can you believe that I gotta stand shoulder to shoulder with these idiots for the contract?
저자는 또
What the hell is he doing? We got a streamer. In the distance, we saw some guy running his mouth and striking several exaggerated, dramatic poses at a tiny at a tiny device, most likely a camera of sorts. Pardon me. I know we have all had experience with someone like him in the past. That guy reminds me of a certain someone. He's taking pics like that guy Siegfried. The way they implement modern memes at the time is something. Yeah, that just kind of fell out of the blue. Like, haha, look, joke. I like his design, though. He ran around for a while, visiting every corner of the empty lot, trying to get every detail in the frame with his selfie stick. And suddenly started striding toward us in an annoyed gait. Hello, yes, you guys, over there. Hast thou called upon us?
좀 다른 데로 가줄래?
Do you mind loitering around somewhere else?
방해가 되잖아.
Shoo, you're getting in the way of my viewers, guys.
저희의 통행에도 방해가 되는데요.
But
그쪽이
you're literally in our way, guy. He whipped his attention back to the camera as though he was pretending not to hear what Ishmael said, or as if he decided that her words weren't worth entertaining. Also glad to
지금
see
내가
you're
어디
able to
왔냐고.
make it.
너무 놀라지 마.
Oh, you want to know where I am?
기사가 있는
Hold on to your
16구
seats, guys.
뒷골목이지.
I'm at the back streets of District 16. Yep, where P Corp is.
맞아. 지난번에
He's got his own little sparkles.
년산 아이스크림 반영구
Oh,
공동
yeah.
무기방송
Remember the
기억하지?
P Corp 150
그런데
vintage semi-permanent
아쉽게도
canned
우리는
ice cream
아이스크림을
unboxing
먹으러 온
review
게
live
아니야.
stream? Yep, the very same. Unfortunately, I'm not here to eat ice cream today.
저 양반은 아까부터
So,
계속 뭐
I've been meaning to ask,
누구한테
who's that
말하는
fella
거야?
even talking to? The heck's he doing?
아마도
I think he's talking to his viewers who are watching his show.
모종의 방송 호스트라는
It
느낌.
appears that he is the host of a certain
최근
show.
일부
It has been reported that,
카메라를
in certain
통해
parts of the
간단한
city, a
방송을
new culture of
진행하는
live
유행이라는
streaming
것 같아.
via those cameras has been on the rise.
무례한 작자네.
What a rude piece of
꼬맹이,
work. Don't let me
너무
get you
신경
down,
쓰지 마.
kiddo. What? What?
정말
Oh no. Huh?
어?
Huh? What a glorious day it is.
영사스러운 날이 아닐 수 없고 저자는 3대 해결사 잡지 중 하나인
Oh.
월드 해결사들
Behold, this man is Sir Camille of Sync Association West. His name is honored as one of the top 10 up-and-coming new generation fixers. Featured in the October issue of Fixers Monthly, one of the big 3 fixer magazines of the city.
누누이 말하는
I know we say this every single time,
걸
but
아는
most people
사람-
don't know what... Never mind.
됐어요.
지난번에 버스에서
How have you not hearkened when I shared this news of grave wait, I almost said insignificance. Grave significance aboard the bus? Have none of you heeded mine words?
미쳤냐? 그걸
Are you
믿게?
mad?
당연히 안
Why would I
믿지.
listen to you when I can nap instead?
굽이길을 운행 중에
Such haranguing over a winding path is oft a cause for sickness on the road, Miss Don Quixote. The grumbling sinners clearly existed outside Don Quixote's world. She was breathing very heavily, a look of admiration clear on her face. I for one did not imagine even in my wildest dreams that I should be shaking hands with Sir Camille in person. Of course, no one shook hands or exchanged the simplest pleasantries with Camille yet.
약지에 감긴 세 바퀴의 반지는 마에스트로가 되기 위해 인정받은 세 가지 작품을 뜻하죠.
In which the tale of our young master is revealed.
지금 제 작품이 만인의 신금을 울리지는 못하더라도
Oh?
불성사납군.
어?
여기까지
What
와서 추태를 부리나?
So embarrassing. Do you really have to clown around with that thing while on a mission?
와, 여러분.
Wow! Hey, champ,
이쪽은
look!
이번
Let me
임무에서 내
introduce y'all to
보조를
Paula
맡은
from the
지구의
Zwei
옆에
Association. She'll be my sidekick in this mission.
보조가 아닌
Listen, I'm not your sidekick.
착장을 보면 알겠지만
As you can
나랑
probably tell
똑같이
from her outfit,
서부에서 온
she's a fixer
해결사들이야.
from the West, just like myself.
가끔 이렇게
The
협회에서
association
내 보조를
sometimes
멋져
sticks me with
붙여서
sidekicks like
협력
her
작전으로
against my
의뢰를
will for some
하기도 해.
contracts. A joint operation,
그래,
you
맞아,
know.
맞아. 그냥 혼자일 때도
Oh, yeah,
빛나는
totally.
편이긴 하지만
I know. I really shine when I work alone. But what can I do? Gotta do what the higher-ups tell me to do. You get it, right?
그래도
Well, why don't you say hello to my dear fans
우리 팬
anyway, Miss
여러분들에게
Paula?
인사 한마디 해줄래?
Woo! A collaboration of the Sync and the Zwei, two formidable forces together as one.
협력하는 것을 보게 되다니.
I think she's tearing up. What great, glorious, grand, blood-pumping feeling this is! My heart pounds madly as though its explosion nigh. Oh, my headset battery is dying. Hang on. Gotta fix that so I can actually hear stuff. Alright.
매일 영상으로만 본 자들이
The great figures I have previously seen only through recordings, through books, through figurines, are here before me in the flesh, conversing, ambling, right before mine eyes. Do you know most of the fixers here then, Don Quixote?
구독 중인 해결사 잡지에 나온
If a
해결사들은
fixer hath been
대부분
featured in
거의
one of the
다
magazines I am
모조리
subscribed
알고
to,
있네.
then verily. Right. That's the case. And if everyone here really are all fixers, then she probably knows who that person is too, right? That person who's been staring daggers at us this whole time. Then who are they over there? That group of fixers who's been staring at us for a while. Ah! Allow me to observe. Hath our reputation only preceded us to be recognized by mere sight? 'Tis a joyous conundrum indeed. 'Tis precisely why I said that I must graciously bow out from this special feature on the front page of a newspaper. May have a few gaps in my knowledge. 'Tis probable that they are from a small upstart office that hath only registered itself. But 'tis clear from the fashion in which they are garbed that they all hail from the east.
다행이네요.
What a relief.
저분들이 누구인지는
Conveniently, I
마침
recognize
제가
who
알고
they
있거든요.
are. Hode! Thou recognize this the fixer whom I do not, for truth! Don Quixote stares at Hung Lu in utter disbelief. Merceau, come on, man. Don't look back at them.
아까부터
We
계속
have been
마주보고
looking
있는
at each
중
other for a while.
눈을 피하려는
There is no reason
모습.
for me to avert my eyes. My man, that's what most people call a staring contest, and it's rude. So let's just...
이젠
They're all walking towards
걸어오고
us.
계시는데요?
Should we wave at them or
손이라도
something?
흔들어야 할까요?
Crap. Then, yeah, let's stare right back at them again. Let's at least not come off like we're scared of them. Yeah, confidence. Have confidence. You know what? Wait, you know they're within hearing distance, alright? Yep, they're right in front of us.
아이씨, 답답해.
Bloody hell, don't look away, lad. Eyeball him right back. I don't want to get caught unawares if we're about to get into fisticuffs.
볼일 있냐?
Oi, Les! Have you got business with us or what? Huh?
넌 또
What's
왜
with that
이
grin on
상황에서도
your
실실
face?
웃고 있어?
아,
I didn't know I'd be
이렇게
introducing her to
빠르게
everyone so
소개해드릴 줄은
soon.
미처 몰랐어서요. 인사시켜드릴게요.
Please say hello
제 동생
to my little
가시춘답니다.
sister, Jashichun. I'm terrible at pronouncing Chinese names. Little sister?
동생이요?
Little sister?
자칫하면 몰라볼 뻔했지
I almost didn't
뭐야.
recognize you.
마지막으로
Last
보았을
I
때만
remember,
해도
you were only up to my
내
knees in
무릎만
height.
했었잖니.
그건 어릴 때였으니까.
That's because I was a child the last time you saw me.
집을 나가서 혼자
And here I
대충 뭘
was,
거창한
wondering
짓을
what kind of
준비하고
impressive
있는지.
shenanigans you were preparing for since you left home.
이게 전부야?
This is it.
오빠가 만든
This is all you've managed to build of your own faction.
세력이
They're not my
아니야,
factions,
시춘.
Jishin.
소개해줄게.
Come on, let me introduce you to them.
여기서부터
I'll start
차례대로
here. This is
그레고르
Mr.
씨.
Gregor. Say hello. Yo. Gregor. Don't be shy. My name's Forget it. I don't have time for this. Xia Shishun gave us a side eye before dismissively cutting us off. Whoop.
그래.
Okay. Oh,
아,
hey,
이제
you've not only
보니까
grown in
키만 작은
height,
게 아니라 시춘.
Shishun.
나처럼
I see that
친구들도
your circle of
많아졌구나.
friends has been growing
새로
too,
사귀었니?
just like mine. Are they new? To call them friends was a very optimistic assessment on Hong Lu's part, because the people who accompany Xia Shichun were all threateningly sizing us up like they were getting ready for a fight.
정말 친구라고
You don't really
생각해서
think
그렇게
they're my
묻는 거야?
friends, do you?
그리고 다른 오빠 언니들에 비하면 한참 부족한 편이야.
I'm still far behind my older siblings anyway. Mhm.
그렇구나.
I see.
그리고 가족 중에 몇 명이 여전히 오빠를 찾고 있는
Do
거야.
you know that some of us are still out here looking for you?
응.
Oh,
안
I do.
그래도 저번에
Oh,
자완
that
형이랑
reminds
만나서
me. I ran into
잠깐 얘기
Jahuan
나눴어.
earlier and had a quick chat with him. Huh?
그
And you're
만난
still in one
오빠를
piece after
만나고도
running with that
멀쩡한
asshole.
거
Still lucky as
보니
always, huh?
어지간히도 좋나 보네.
I think back to the time we first met this Jahuan. His venomous words, that contemptuous look he gave us as we lay there dying. It seems that moment was embellished into a pleasant, quick chat in Hong Lu's memory. What the actual hell is going on in Hong Lu's brain? Either that, or the interaction was what counts as a quick chat for Hong Lu.
시춘,
Shichun,
아까 들었는데
I overheard that
이곳
this is a
일대는
pretty
위험하다는
dangerous
것 같아.
place. People have been going
사람들이
missing around
실종되기도
here.
하고.
Why don't
너와
you and your friends
일행분들은
go find somewhere
안전하게
safe to take
대피하는 게
refuge
어떠니?
in? I still can't tell if you're trying to be funny
농담이라고
or if you're
하는 건지,
genuinely worried for me.
걱정이라고 하는 건지. 저기 말이야.
Listen, my
난
naive
맹한
brother.
오빠랑
I got here first, okay? Earlier than you
아니지.
and your faction.
떨거지들보다
I mean,
먼저 이곳에
your second-rate
도착했거든.
minions. And LCB is not mentally right in the head anyways. It's just more what the heck is going on with Hung Lu.
알아듣겠어?
Is this making sense to
나도
you?
라만차랜드
I'm here to
토벌
take part in the
참가자야.
eradication of La
이
Mancha
장소가
land.
어떤지는
I'm pretty
어떤
sure I have better
장소인지는
intel on this place than you
내가
do.
더 잘 알걸?
참가자라니?
You are.
시춘,
But why
네가
would you
이런 걸
take part in
참가할
something
필요는
like
없지
this?
않니?
It's not like you need the
토벌
reward
현상금이
money,
필요할 리도
right?
없고.
당연하지.
Yeah, you don't say. And I doubt you're in it for some pocket money either.
푼돈.
Pocket money, huh?
그렇지.
Sure, whatever. Pocket money.
그럼
Oh, then is it... never mind.
아니다.
I don't think you or Master Wei
너도
are going to
웨이시도
answer that question
대답해줄 것 같진
anyway.
않네.
Hong Lu's eyes momentarily diverted from his younger sister to her posse. There stood a long-haired man who looked toward Zhichun as though he was asking for her permission, then walked toward us and bowed deeply and politely toward Hong Lu.
안녕하십니까?
It has been a while, young master.
와,
Wow,
오랜만이에요,
it's been so
웨이씨.
long, Master Wei.
아직도 시춘의
Still escorting
후임이신가
Zhishen,
보네요.
I see.
부족하지만
Yes, I am still in
여전히
her
아가씨를
service,
모시고
despite my
있습니다.
shortcomings.
안쪽은 위험할
I'm
수도
worried that it
있을
might be too
텐데.
dangerous in there.
아, 시춘.
Ha!
우리랑
Why don't you
같이
tag
다니는
along with
건
us, Zhishen?
어떻겠니?
Let's do this together.
도련님은
Young
여전히
master, I see that you are still yourself.
아니,
Forget that. Why don't you mind your own
서로의
business and
목표에만
we go our
집중하고
separate ways?
여기서 헤어지는 건 어때? 가만 보니까
I can see that you and your friends have some real talent for attracting attention, but I prefer to keep things discreet.
안에선
And I prefer it if you didn't embarrass me in there by talking to me or something.
그래.
Okay, if
시춘,
that's
네가
what you want,
원한다면
Zhishen.
다시 만난다면
I thought you'd have gotten better after all this time,
지금의
brother.
전보다는
At least better than you
더
were the
나아졌을
last time we
거라고
met.
생각했어.
그렇구나.
I see.
네 눈엔
I suppose I haven't
아니었나 보네.
improved at all in your eyes.
지금 만난 게 나라서
You should
다행인 줄
consider
알아.
yourself lucky that it's
다른
me
언니
who you ran
오빠들이었으면
into.
그 곱상한
If it was one of our
머리통이
other
바다를
older
뒹굴고
siblings,
있었을
your
거니까.
pretty head would already be rolling in the dirt.
고마워.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Jashichin scowled and opened her lips as though she was about to shoot something back. But she thought better of it, turned around, and left with her posse.
뭐
Well, they say it's rare to see a happy family than it is to see an unhappy one. Don't look
왜
at
날
me.
봐?
I never consider
난
that
그
dog
개자식은
my
가족으로
family.
생각 안 했어.
No, no, but that's not what I...
뭘 쳐다보는
What are you
거지?
looking at? Do
동이라도
you expect me
팔아나?
to back you up or something?
아이고.
Oh, man.
여전히 변한 게 없네요.
Poor Gregor! Just like old times.
예전에도 저렇게
Huh.
까칠했다는 거야.
So she was always that spiteful.
아니요.
Spiteful? No,
예전에도
no.
다른
Shichun has always
형제들보다
been, and
저를
still
더
is,
잘
my
따랐거든요.
most amicable sibling.
시춘은.
She's your nicest one?
예전에
How many siblings do you have?
예전에도라고 한 것이
I must ask, for I have cause to believe that I may have misheard. Still is, was it?
맞아요.
Yes. That's normal. That I think it's normal that we're so messed up in the head because we died so many times.
저것이.
That was... Yisang's expression grew into a complicated mess of emotions as he looked to the ground, unable to speak further. Looks like they're holding some kind of meeting in there.
이제 저희도 들어가야 할 것
We should probably join them. I looked to where Sinclair was pointing at and saw a line of fixers walking into what appeared to be a makeshift command tent. Yeah, we should. Oh boy. Of the immensely devastating duel in which our fixer and the sink battled. Only Dawn! Oh no!
내가 나설 차례인가?
Who are those people accompanying Virgilius and Karen?
반가워서 열심히
Damn, not even way back, huh? No, this wasn't about Virgilius. I'll just let Dawn make all the noises. Don Quixote, who stood next to me, was very gradually starting to hyperventilate. You okay, Don Quixote?
비정상적인 호흡
The
숫자의
gradual
증가는
acceleration of her
10분
breathing
전부터
patterns
관찰되고 있었습니다.
was first observed 10
생명에
minutes
지장이
ago.
있는
I did not
형태는
report it,
보고하지
as it posed no
않았습니다.
real risk to our health and well-being. Thank you,
호흡을
Marcel.
끝내는 법은 잘
I know a
알고
good
있다.
way of dealing with a case of hyperventilation. Ryoshu regarded me with a look that clearly and concisely communicated that she wanted to choke out Don Quixote. I tried my best to look away. Ishmael sighed and stepped forward, sensing that Ryoshu was about to do something we would rather not have her do.
대신 말해드릴게요.
I
하나
can tell
협회에서
you
온
what's going
해결사인가
on.
보네요.
That fixer's from the Hana Association. The Hana Association is the one that's overseeing all Fixer Association activities, right? I guess all the times Don Quixote went on impromptu Fixer-related lectures weren't all for naught. I never paid much attention to it, but once you hear something enough times, those lectures have a way of lodging themselves into your brain.
하나협회.
A fixer from the Hana Association? That name alone clearly carried a lot of weight among the fixers. As the Hana Association fixer, dressed in pure white, walked into the room, they all slowly turned around to gaze upon her. And
붉은 시선도
the red gaze too?
세상에
Holy
특색을
crap!
볼 줄
A color fixer? Here?
주목을 받는 게
Hey, looks like we've got
하나협회만이
another
아닌데?
superstar here. Virgilius, who we'd somehow grown used to seeing after such a long period of traveling together, was commanding the attention of everyone in the room merely by his presence. That reminds me, I heard that Don Quixote was overwhelmed by sheer excitement when she saw Virgilius on the bus. I'm pretty sure she was on the verge of passing out from the sheer joy of getting to work next to a color fixer.
이게 당연한
I
반응인
guess this
거죠.
was to be expected.
베르길리우스
Virgilius
씨는
is one of the very
색을
few
부여받은
fixers who has the
몇
honor
안
of getting
되는
bestowed with the
특색
title
해결사니까.
of a color.
다들 보고 있어? 맞아.
And there could be
엄청나지? 그 특색.
multiple
붉은 시선도
reds, right?
그만큼 이 작전의 규모가
Like red
시시하진 않다는
gaze,
거지.
red whatever, etc., etc. Chat, are you seeing this? Crazy, right? Look, that's none other than the color fixer Red Gaze himself, in the flesh. This is no mere backwaters. Backstreets operation we're talking about.
저는 내가
Remember my
거 기억하지?
pre-game
내가
stream.
예상한 대로잖아.
I read that wrong.
이 의뢰는 도시 악몽급 그
I told you guys that this had to be more than an urban nightmare.
위험한
Oh,
일이
you're
생기지
worried
않을까
about me?
걱정된다고.
Guys, listen. All I need is your support
여러분들만
to
있으면
youngsters these days.
요즘 것들은
One color of each at a time. Okay. So there could only be one red, one blue, etc. Alright, that makes sense. Between Camille's nonstop jabbering and Otis's tongue clicking in even 3-second intervals, I wasn't sure which one of the two was more annoying. Thankfully, we weren't the only ones getting increasingly tired of Camille's antics.
지금부터 이 회의장에서 하나 협회가 허가한 공식적인 임무 기록용 촬영 외
From this point
모든 촬영
onward,
행동은
any recording
공개로
activity,
명한다.
save for official work-related recordings with prior authorization from the Hana Association, will no longer be permitted.
발각될 시
Should you be caught in
해결사
violation
협회에서
of this
벌점을
decree,
부과할
the
예정이다.
Fixer Association will be leveling
벌점에
penalty
따라서는
points to your
해결사
name.
자격 정지, 등급 강등까지 이루어지는 점.
And we who are gathered
박대리는
here
잘
must
알고
be
있을
well aware of
것이다.
the consequences of accumulating too many penalty points. Fixer license suspension, grade demotion.
여러분,
Well,
나는
shit.
아무래도
Seems
여기서
like it's the
퇴장해야 할
curtain
것
call for tonight's show.
숭고하게 싸우고
I'll
나서
give them a
돌아올게.
valorous, noble fight, and I'll see
같이
you
저녁
guys
식사를
next
하고 싶은
time.
해결사 투표 꼭
Oh,
잊지 말아주고.
Don't forget about
오늘
casting your
결정까지.
votes for the Fixer I Want to Have Dinner With contest. It closes at midnight. The Hana Fixer's cold declaration fell upon Camille and the Fixers inside the command tent like a heavy layer of snow. They all began hurriedly fidgeting with their devices, trying to put them back in their respective cases and bags. With that, the commotion inside the tent rapidly simmered down.
꼴 좋네요.
Serves them right. Okay, Ishmael.
저자는 당신네 사람
You there,
같은데
that woman
턱이
with
빠져 있는 것 같다만
an apparently dislocated
괜찮은
jaw
건가?
appears to be a part of your group. Is she alright? Don Quixote. The fixer from the Hana Association asks in our direction, glancing at Don Quixote. Don't mind her. It's easier that way. Soon, a P Corp employee walked out in front of the fixers.
라만차랜드
Right,
토벌
round
작전은
4 against La Mancha
이번으로 네
Land, huh?
번째군요. 이 자리에 모인
I am
모두들
very glad to be here.
대단히
Happy to see
반갑습니다.
you all. For some reason, for someone who's very happy to see us, he didn't so much as glance up in our direction.
저는 피사 아카이빙 부서의
I am a Class 3
3등급
documentation
기록직과장
staff manager at P
알레시오.
Corp. Archival
그리고
department. My name is Alessio.
저분은
And she is Hano.
아까 만났던
So,
채사라
head manager Cesar
라는
isn't here to brief
부장과는
us
다른
herself.
사람이네요.
부장이 직접 나타날
Not
정도의
willing to dirty
자리는
her
아니라는
boots by
건가?
coming all the way out here. I see.
자, 그럼
Right then,
작전
let's get on
브리핑을
with the briefing, shall we?
시작하도록 하겠습니다.
Oh. As we were all standing here and sharing our predictions, the employee, who introduced himself as Alessio, started loading up various images on the monitor. Oh, mate, do we really gotta go through all this bureaucracy? Yes.
아직
The briefing has
시작조차
yet
하지
to even
않았어.
commence, however. Yeah, Heathcliff, they haven't started yet. Heathcliff lets out a loud, exaggerated yawn. The reproachful glares of other fixers were so palpable that I could almost feel them prickling at my skin.
따로 앉고 싶네요.
Can we pretend we don't know him? Huh. Makes me feel like I'm something a fixer myself, sitting here with all these people.
저는 말입니다.
Executive manager. I've been a
이곳과
leader of
비교도 안
numerous
떨 만큼
operations
큰
that would
작전의
dwarf
지위를
this
여러
little
번-
skirmish. Okay, Otis. Numerous? I wanted to hear more about her story, but the mission briefing was actually getting started. I decided to table my
앞으로
curiosity
3시간
until
이내로
later.
이곳에 등장하게 될
La Mancha
라만차랜드는
Land, which will
수십
manifest
명
here
이상의
within the next
해결사들이
3
토벌에
hours, is an
실패한
officially recognized
공식적인
urban
도시
nightmare class
악몽입니다.
phenomenon. Dozens of fixers have attempted and failed to take it down.
잠시
We will now hold a moment
희생자들을
of
위한
silence for its victims.
애도의 시간을 가지겠습니다.
Don Quixote immediately cast her gaze downward with a graven expression, but I could count with my 10 fingers the number of people who seem to be taking it even remotely seriously. Some fixers muttered amongst themselves that the victims were just fools who were in over their heads. Even I, with my endless naivety, could tell that none of the fixers really considered them victims. A light buzz of murmurs and idle chatter fills the silence. A look of boredom clear on the fixer's face as though they've all heard it before.
자, 이제 이
Now,
화면에
if I might direct your
집중해
attention
주십시오.
to this screen. Ishmael's look at Heathcliff. Alright. Several low-resolution images begin to load on the display.
라만차랜드가 탄생한 것 자체는
It is speculated that the
최소
original La
200년
Mancha land
이상은
dates back 200
되었으리라
years in the past by
추정하고 있습니다.
conservative estimation. Okay.
이는 보고된
This
사진과
has been
영상들에
determined
찍혀
based on
있는 자재들의
photographic
노후
evidence
상태로 추측한
and the
결과입니다.
level of decay of the buildings and materials retrieved and analyzed from the phenomenon.
하지만 라만차랜드가
However,
본격적으로
La
세간에
Mancha
알려지기
land was
시작한
largely
건
unknown and invisible to the
두달
public until
전입니다.
2 months ago.
그리고 이 놀이공원을
And the raw
이루고
material that
있는
makes up
재료들은
this amusement park is...
이미
We
다
know all
아는
this
내용인데
already.
뭐
Just get
하러
on
웃고
with it.
있어?
But I don't know.
No.
P Corp has the responsibility
피사에서는
to share sufficient
토벌에
information to all
참가하는
participants
모두에게
of this mission.
충분한
그러니까 이미 다
And like I
아는
said, we all have
정보라고.
more than
이런
sufficient
시간에 차라리
information. Got that? Let's stop wasting time and
아,
you seem to be
뭔가
under a
크게
rather
착각하고
severe
있군.
misconception. Oh boy.
물론 이곳에 모인
Of
사람
course.
중엔 우수하고 꽤 그럴듯한 실력을 갖춘
I'm
자들이
sure
있을
some of my
수도
present
있겠지.
company are consummate professionals with the skill and grit most people wouldn't dare scoff at.
하지만
But the truth
그래봐야
is,
너희 중 대다수는
Most of you are fodder.
죽고
Common
다시
as muck,
채워지는
painfully average,
널리고 널린
garden
해결사 중
variety
하나일 뿐이다.
bargain bin fixers, who are most likely going to meet their dirt-filled, miserable ends while stuck on urban nightmare duty their whole careers. That's all you'll ever be.
나와 같은 위치인 일곱
Most of you will
해결사조차
fall
되지
by the
못하고
wayside before this path
중간에 낙오되겠지.
leads you to anywhere of even passing significance, let alone joining the ranks of grade 1 fixers like myself.
설사
Some,
한두
maybe
명이
one or
운
two of
좋게
you,
일급이
may
된다
make it a
해도
grade 1, sure.
여기 계신 붉은
But I
시선과
can
같은
guarantee that
경지는
you won't even dare
꿈도 꾸지
dream
못할
of
거다.
getting anywhere near the red gaze's greatness.
그저 쓰러진 채 그들의
Maybe your
전투를 보고
best will
차이를
be the honor
느끼며
of dying
죽어갈
next to
이들이
him.
대부분이겠지.
Feeling the disparity between yourselves and those who are at the top of the city. The grin on the fixers' faces quickly faded away as the boisterous fixer fell dead silent.
그러니까 저 하나 협회
Blimey.
쪽
So
해결사
that Hannah fixer is almost
길잡이랑
right up there with the
비슷하거나
guide,
바로
eh?
아래급은 된다는 거냐?
Or at least somewhere right beneath his level?
그래도 역시
아하!
붉은 시선님이 더
Yet,
짱이라네.
the red gaze shan't be outdone by a mere grade 1 fixer.
그러니 꼴사납게 자만하지 말고
So, know your places,
계속해서
pay attention
집중하도록.
to the briefing.
협조 감사합니다.
Thank you for your
계속
cooperation.
진행하도록 하죠.
Now, let's see.
라만차랜드가
The reason for
이곳에
La Mancha
갑작스럽게 출몰한 이유는
sudden appearance
아직까지
here
알
is
수
yet
없습니다.
to be explained.
이곳이
Though its
뒷골목이라도
influence is still
라만차랜드가
confined
가진
to the back
특수성으로 인해
streets. The uniqueness of La
자체만으로
Mancha Land
피사에 무시할 수 없는
poses a
위협이
tangible
되고 있죠.
threat to P Corp merely by its existence.
그래서요.
Yeah, totally,
여기
dude.
땅값이 장난 아니게
The local housing
내려갔잖아요.
market hit rock bottom and continued to crash, didn't it? The fixer from earlier, the one who tried to stop us from entering the scene before scuttling away, slowly sidled up to us and began chatting us up. Most of us ignored him, but Hung Lu responds to him in a kindly voice.
그런가요?
Oh, is that right?
당연하죠.
Yeah, it was insane when that
저게
thing showed up here for the
출몰했을
first
때
time.
진짜 장난 아니었다니까요. 밀집되어
It
있는
appeared in the
건물
middle of a
한복판에
dense
생겼으니까요.
population center.
얼마나 아비규환이었는데요.
It was like two hells in one. All that screaming, all that blood, and two hells in one.
아름다운 단어지.
What a beautiful phrasing.
비사의
Well,
건물들이
P Corp
대부분
buildings are well known
탄성이
for their
좋아서
elasticity.
나타난 공간만큼
So while they all got
비어지긴
bent
했지만
along the newly
무너지진
manifested
않았어요.
phenomenon, they didn't like crumble or anything. Oh, interesting.
그래도
Anyways, when La
라만차랜드가
Mancha Land suddenly
만들어지면서
appeared
주위에
there,
순식간에
pulsing and pushing away
퍼져나오니까
all the buildings that
거기
used to
있던
be there,
사람들은 다치고
people
건물들은
got
죄다
crushed and a
휘고
bunch of buildings got
그랬다니까요.
bent.
그런 규모의
There were really a
사고치고
lot of survivors
생존자가
for something
많은
so
편이기는
devastating.
했죠. 이사의 특이점으로 세워진
All
건물
thanks to
안에
P
있던
Corp's singularity, which kept the people
무사했으니까.
inside the building safe.
지금은
They set up a
출몰
3
지점
kilometer
반경
radius buffer
3km까지는
zone
어떤 건물도
to
세우지
limit any
않는 걸로
construction in the area where it
규정되긴 했는데
manifests. But
겨우 3km?
just 3 kilometers?
피사의 특이점을 활용한
Buildings
건물들은
utilizing P Corp's
신축성이
singularity
높아서
have a very high level
그
of
안에만 있으면
elasticity.
웬만하면
Meaning
무너지거나
that
꺼질 일은
buildings made
없습니다.
using their technology are very
주거지에
unlikely to
라만차랜드
collapse or fall
외곽이
apart
걸치는
in
정도는
response to shock.
괜찮다는 판단이겠죠.
It's probable that they have decided that it would be safe enough to let the periphery of the La Mancha land slightly overlap with the residential zone.
피사의 모토가
Well, you know what they say.
어디서든
P
안전한
Corp can make a safe
보금자리를
home
만드는
anywhere.
것이라고는 하니까요.
So imagine the
그
shock when
사달이
all that
났는데
disaster
여기로 이사
happened.
오고 싶어 할
Their only
사람들은
claim to
아무도
fame
없을 테니
crumbled,
땅값은
and
쭉쭉
faith
내려가다 못해
and their technology
지하를
growing shaky.
뚫었다죠.
Oh, the faith in their technology growing shaky. No wonder the real estate market crashed through rock bottom around here.
한때 여기
I mean,
주민들끼리
it was
참다
so bad that the
못해
locals
피켓도
banded together and
들고
stormed La
직접
Mancha Land.
자경단을 꾸려서 라만차랜드에
Pickets and all.
쳐들어가기도 했다니까요.
So that's what those banners were about, huh?
사진에 보고된 것처럼
As you can all see,
라만차랜드는
La Mancha
겉으로
Land
보기에는 화려한
presents
놀이공원의
itself
모습을
as an
하고 있다.
extravagantly decorated amusement park.
여러 보고 중
One of the most
공통된
commonly
증언은
heard
반경
testimonies
8km까지의 인원에겐
from the
음악
reports
소리가
state that
들린다는
there is an
것이다.
8-kilometer range
이로
radius
인해
from the
호기심을 품은
epicenter,
시민들이
in
섣부르게
which people have been hearing a
접근하였으며
disembodied music
대다수가
of sorts.
돌아오지 못했지.
Several curious civilians, drawn by the music, approached it. Most of them are yet to
그
return.
음악 소리에 사람을 최면 상태로 유도하는
Is it
효과가
possible
있을
that the music
가능성은
holds
없습니까?
hypnogenic qualities?
그 점 또한
That is indeed a
간과하지 않을 수
possibility.
없습니다.
We won't be ruling out.
아무리 여기저기에 접근
Too
금지
many
표지판을
visitors have ignored the
세워놓아도
obvious warning
이를
signs
무시하고
and
들어간
perimeter tapes to
방문객들
call
또한
it a coincidence.
많았으니까.
Possibly
혹시 모를
erring on the side
안전을
of
위해
caution, we and the
저를
relevant
포함한 관계자들은
individuals will be
모두
equipping ourselves with
귀마개를 착용할
earplugs.
예정입니다. 라만차랜드라는 게 생겨나면
But must we
뭐부터 해야
do
하지?
once this La Mancha Land materializes?
일단 너희들이 라만차랜드에 입장하고 나면
Once you enter its
반드시
perimeter,
곧바로
you will
전투
have
태세에
to ready
돌입해야
yourselves
한다.
for imminent combat.
그곳에서
There
너희들이
aren't any
마주할
kindly
것들은
pirates
풍선을
giving
나눠주는
away
친절한
balloons, no
피해자도
amusement park employees popping
팝콘을
popcorns,
튀겨주는
no
직원도
staff members greeting you with a
반갑게
welcoming
손을
song.
흔들면 노래를 불러주는 자들도 아니다.
혈기들
Only blood
뿐이겠지.
fiends. Let me see.
뭐
Huh?
혈기?
Blood fiends?
혈기가 진짜 있긴
They're
한
real?
거였어?
한참 전에
Haven't you heard about the Blood Red Knight, the infamous star of the
그게
city?
엄청난 혈기였다는 소문이
Some people say
자자했었는데
that the Blood Red Knight was actually a really powerful blood fiend.
그 소문이 진짜인지 아닌지 누가 알아?
Yeah, and people say a lot of stuff. You know how rumors
사실
spread in the
별거
city,
아니었던 소문들이
but it wasn't
얼마나
anything
많은데.
too crazy once you got down to it. Ha!
소문.
Rumors? You'll never know how resilient, how devastatingly powerful and stubborn the Blood Red Knight was. You ignoramuses do not have the right to talk about the thing so lightly.
그래.
Yes, the only things
그곳에서
you'll
너희를
find in
맞이하는
there
건 오로지
are
혈기로
blood
인해
bags and the blood
피주머니로
fiends
변해버린
that turn
자들.
them,
그리고 너희의 피로
sharpening their
갈증을
fangs
치르기
to fill
위해
their ravenous hunger
이빨을
with your
갈고 있는
blood.
굶주린 혈.
아까 미처 전달을 다 못
Here's a
드렸지만
detail I was going to
라만차랜드를 이루고
share
있는
earlier
재료들은
before I was cut off. The raw
인간의
material that makes up
혈액입니다.
every structure within La Mancha Land
200년 전의 것이죠.
is human blood. Human blood dating back over 200 years in the past. What the fuck? Blood
혈비는
fiends can make
피로
amusement parks
놀이공원을
out of
만들 수도 있는
blood?
건가요?
오로지 혈기들
Oh,
뿐이라는
now I'm
건
looking
좀 마음에
forward to
드는 건
this.
어중간한
If
놈들은
it's only blood
금세
fiends we'll
쭉쭉
find in there, I'm
나자빠질
sure they'll
테니까.
waste no time making mincemeat out of the greenhorns.
해결사들은
Is
말투가
that
다
how all
저래?
fixers talk?
전에
The
이스도
way that
호수에서
guy's
저렇게
talking about
말했던 것
blood
같은데.
fiends reminds me of how a lot of how Ishi used to talk about the Great Lake.
까딱하다가는 목숨이
Hey, you
날아가게
can't blame
생긴
us for being on
마당에
edge all the time when the
눈앞에
smallest
놈들이
mistake could cost us our
평하게
lives.
졸기나 하고 있으면
Not to mention how irritating it is when
심성이
others who
사나워지게
don't even
된다고요.
understand the dangers are dozing off like there's no tomorrow.
안 졸았어.
Didn't doze.
아까
Thanks to some
어떤 새끼가
sod
내
who's
발에
been
있는
constantly
힘껏
stepping on my
밟아댔거든.
foot. Is she, I suppose? Oh, Sinclair.
날씨가 좋네요 오늘.
What a nice weather today, huh? It was Sinclair who was stepping on his foot at the rather forcible behest of Ishmael, but I held my silence. The last thing I wanted was to have the two of them bickering again.
이어가자면
Anyway,
라만차랜드 안에서
you
약
managed to
6시간
survive
정도가
for 6
지나면
hours within La Mancha
퇴장을
Land.
알리는 음악이
The
나오기
music
시작할 거다.
announcing the closure of the
이
park will
또한
start playing.
생존하여 돌아온
We were able to
해결사들과
cross-reference
입장객에게서 나온 일관된 증언이지.
this fact from testimonies of every fixer and civilian who managed to make it out alive.
퇴장 음악이 들릴
Once the
때부터
exit song
30분
starts to
내외로
play,
라만차랜드를 벗어나지 않으면
starts playing,
너희들은
you will have 30 minutes to
다음
exit La
포벌이
Mancha
열릴
Land.
때까지
30 minutes.
라만차랜드에 갇혀버리게
Should you fail
된다.
to do so, you'll be trapped inside of La
사실상
Mancha Land until it
혈기들과의
manifests here
기약 없는
again,
동침이지.
effectively putting you in an endless battle against the blood fiends. If anyone even survives that long.
살아남는 놈들이 있다면 말.
특정 놀이기구에
There also were white
실종자들이
eyewitness reports
탑승하고
where some
있다고
fixers
증언 또한
identified missing
있었습니다만
people aboard
여러분이
certain
신경
amusement
쓸
park
요소는 아닐
rides.
겁니다.
But that's not an important detail for those who are present. But it might be. You never know. Okay. You never know.
지금까지 파악된
Based on
증언들을 토대로 본다면
And reports from the
라만차랜드는
survivors,
총 4개의 구역으로 나누어져 있다.
we have been able to establish a
생존자들의
map of
정보들을
La
통해
Mancha
만든
Land
지도를
comprised of
보여주지.
4 separate areas.
현 시점에서
No one has yet
이
to make
마지막
it to the
구역까지
final
진입한
area,
자들은
which is
아무도 없다.
located here.
단
However,
1, 2,
we were
3구역의
able to
특정 장치를
identify
모두 가동시켜야지만 마지막 구역에 입장이
That a certain
가능하다는
device in
것만
each area,
바뀌었지.
area 1, 2, and 3 respectively, had to be activated first in order to unlock the final area.
참고로 현재까지
The devices
가동되었던
within
장치는
area 1 and 2
1구역과
have been activated in
2구역뿐.
the past,
아직
but no one has
3구역은
managed to
가동된
activate
적이
the 1
없다.
and 3 yet. Just yet.
좋아. 우리들은 곧바로
Understood.
3구역으로 달려가면
Suppose
되는
we
건가?
should beeline it to area 3 to save some time then.
아니, 모든 장치는 라만차랜드가 사라짐과
No.
동시에 초기화된다.
It appears that the device is reset when La Mancha Land disappears. Oh, so you have to go back and hit every device. In
즉,
other words, you'll
여기
have
있는
to
인원들을
divide and
나누어서
conquer.
각각
Team up
1구역부터
with other fixers, choose an
3구역까지
area to tackle.
입장을 해야 한다는 것입니다.
알았어. 각자 맡은 구역으로 간 후에 장치를
I
가동시키고
see.
다 같이 마지막
Split up,
구역에서
activate
집결해야
our respective
한다는 거.
devices, and rendezvous at the final area.
1, 2, 3구역의 모든 장치를 가동했다는
Assuming that
전제
every team
하에
successfully activates the device they're responsible for.
맞습니다.
Correct.
라만차랜드
We
톱볼의
suspect that the key
핵심은
to solving the
마지막
La
구역에
Mancha
있지
Land problem
않을까
lies within its final
추측하고.
area.
그쪽에서 말하고 싶은 것이
Is there
있나?
something you'd like to share?
재밌잖아요.
Isn't it funny
1, 2,
that we have to go
3구역의
activate
모든
some kind of
장치를
device in each
가동시켜야지만
section of La Mancha
마지막
Land to
구역이
unlock the final
개방된다는
area?
규칙은 마치 놀이 같지 않나요?
It's kind of like a game, isn't it?
라만차랜드를
Like they're giving
토벌하러
those who
오는
dare to
우리에게
challenge the might of La Mancha
의도적으로
Land
조건을
stages to
세워주고
beat,
있는 것 같지.
conditions to fulfill.
우리가 혈귀들의 속내를
How
어떻게
should we know
알겠어?
what the blood fiends are
날
thinking?
때부터
Those
악하게
monsters are
태어난
born twisted.
족속들이니.
하나, 확인이 필요한 사항.
Hana, we have something we'd like to confirm.
우리 협회는
The
토벌
Zwei Association is here to rescue our
의뢰자의
client,
구출을
not for the
위해
eradication reward. Don't you mean the Zwei and Sync? Don't leave me out.
협회도 함께 말해줄래?
따라서 치바이 협회와
Therefore, the
싱크 협회는
Zwei and Sync have no reason to
일리삼구역으로
enter the three
들어가
areas to
장치를
activate
가동시킬
those
이유가 없는
devices.
여기에 대해서는 당신이 말해주는 게 정확하겠군.
Oh boy. I suppose you could take over from here for the sake of accuracy.
그러죠.
Oh, sure.
이곳에 모인 여러분들은
Right. I'm sure you all have
각자
your own
다양한
reasons
이유로
for being
인해서
here, yes?
왔을 거라. 따라서 저희 피사에서는
Therefore, we at P Corp
토벌
set up an
분배금이라는
eradication
것을
dividend
집정하여
fund, which means that we will be giving out the reward money based on how much you have contributed to the eradication of La Mancha Land.
지급할 예정입니다.
뭐
Assuming a successful outcome, that is.
따라서 토벌이
If your goal
목표가
isn't the
아니신
eradication of
분들은
La Mancha Land,
그
then feel free to roam on your own to
정산에서
fulfill your
제외된다는
respective
것만
contracts.
유의해
As long as you acknowledge
별도의
that you won't be
의뢰를
receiving
완수하러
any payout from
구역을
that fund
이탈하셔도
upon the successful
문제는
completion of this expedition, you are free to do as you will.
하지만 정확히 어떤 내용의
However,
의뢰인지
we would also like to request that you submit a
계약서의
copy of that
사본을
contract so that we are
제출해
aware of
주셔야
its details.
확인했다.
Understood.
회의가
I will hand it over
바로
as soon as this
제출토록
meeting adjourns.
말 나온 김에 지금 이 자리에서
Speaking of which, I'd like to take this opportunity to declare something. If you, and I mean if any of you, intend to ride our coattails to pilfer more of that reward than you deserve, I'll hunt you down too. Got that?
아,
Ladies and
참고로 이게
gents,
진짜
I can
한놈이
attest that he
한
isn't
놈이야.
one for empty
내가
threats.
못 말린다.
Can't promise I'll be able to stop him.
살벌하네요.
He sure is intense.
비록 돈이 걸려있는
I understand that a lot of money hinges on
더
this
이상의
contract.
실종자와 희생자들이
However,
발생하지
remember that our
않도록 하는
primary
것이
objective remains to
우리
minimize
궁극적인 목표다.
casualties to prevent
따라서
further disappearances.
모두가 아낌없이
Leave
힘을
some of
모아야
that
하는
selfishness
작전이라는 걸
behind and cooperate for the greater good.
가능하다면 협조하지.
Or I'll cooperate if that's even possible. The Hana fixer did not contradict him. She was the kind of person who wouldn't hesitate to put her foot down. She could have easily forced us into cooperating, but it seemed that she wouldn't keep us from infighting if it did come to that. Don Quixote was the only one passionately nodding along to her advice.
각 구역으로 가는 조는 어떻게 편성할
So who's
계획이죠?
going with who? Into which area? Zichun, Honglu's little sister, who'd been listening quietly to the briefing, raised her hand with a question. You'll be assigned to teams and areas based on our internal data analysis of your individual capabilities, potential, and alignment. So we should probably avoid overcrowding, huh? Such as saddling us a group of dozen or so people, for example. We intend to avoid bottlenecking too many people in the same area. She's not hiding her disdain at all, huh? Well, it's not like we wanted her to tag along. If there are no further questions, I will be assigning you all to teams and area pairs. Hold! Every single fixer in the room whipped around to look at Don Quixote at her bellowing roar. Perhaps it was a sheer fervor in her voice, or perhaps they were simply annoyed by her asking that one last question when the boring briefing was almost over. Oh, please. Don't tell me this is actually happening. Oh! Oi! That actually woke me up this time. No. This might be the best time to go back to sleep, bud. Would have resulted in a summary execution back in the day. Okay, and the question is... Hark! It appeareth that the information of the greatest import is missing from thy briefing. It is? A moment, please? Alessio began flipping through the briefing, flustered. When shall the rescue operation for the victims of this terrible amusement park commence? I believe that an operation of such a grand scale may be difficult to accomplish only with the help of sirs and ladies from the Zwei and Sink Association. Hey, is that like a character you're playing or something? That's not mainstream at all. I like it. Though I gotta say, playing a character is a bit old-fashioned. At least I know that my viewers won't enjoy something like that. It appears that there has been some misunderstanding. Our contract has nothing to do with rescuing the visitors, let alone all of them. Our contract is a search and rescue operation for a specific visitor requested to us by our client. Then, whoever shall make up the rescue party for the rest of his victims. Huh. Is she for real? Oh, is this what we end up doing? Where'd these idiots come from? Dude, let me see. Unless you have been specifically contracted to rescue someone, I recommend that you peruse the missing persons flyer for the rewards. Yet, it is not the promise of rewards that I desire. So many valiant fixers are gathered here, yet not one taketh up the role of a rescuer. Prithee, fixer of the Zwei, art thou not one of the Zwei, one of those who call themselves your shield? Yeah, they're shields, alright. The iron shield of whoever enters an official contractual agreement with them. Fie! Yet a fixer mustn't wager their own life on shallow promise of capital. Pray tell, when do the fixers of associations abandon honor for greed? Oh, jeez. Okay, that's enough playing around. Do you have any idea who you're talking to? I am very well aware, young Camille of Sink Association, Section 3, frequent feature of the Fixers Monthly magazine. Currently number 7 in the Fixers I Want to Have Dinner With contest. Huh? So you know you're... Wait, I'm only number 7? Well, that's not important right now. If you're so knowledgeable about the Fixers, then I'm sure you know this as well. That I, as a fixer of the Sink Association, am not one to waste breath on mere words. When we want to settle something or make a statement, we duel. An official duel to the death. Then, wilt thou heed my words, should I best thee in a duel? What? Should I best thee in a duel? Wilt thou swear on thine honor that thou shalt assist us in our rescue mission for those who have gone missing? Wait, Are you seriously challenging me to no. I, Don Quixote, perforce shall not so lightly forsake my creed. I hereby challenge thee to a duel. Things were quickly starting to spiral out of control. Almost panicking, I glanced toward Virgilius. But I couldn't read his expression. He was simply staring at us in that inscrutable silence. Silence that almost felt like warmth. Somehow, I found myself getting more intimidated by this than our outright anger.
일단
Okay then,
브리핑은
I'll end the
이걸로
briefing
마치는
here.
걸로 하겠습니다. 지금까지의
It can
경험상
be determined from prior
지지하는 것은
experience that it will be impossible to stop the presently developing situation.
동공이 평소보다
Pupils
확장되어 있고
dilated, brows
미간은 잔뜩
furrowed at a
찢긴
steep
것으로
angle,
봐서는
clear refusal to
어떤 말을
heed
하든
any
소용없을
external input.
가능성이 높아 보이기
Our
때문에
attempts to coax her will not be met with any meaningful response. So she's lost it.
단테,
I neglected to
공터의
mention this
사이
earlier at the
상태는
empty
운운이
lot,
적어서
Dante, on
말하지
account of the
않았습니다만
lack of prying eyes.
지금처럼 해결사들의
I
시선이
recommend
모인
against
상황에서
turning your clock when the eyes of
소득 없는
every
전투를
fixer
위해
participating
시계를
in this
공개적으로
case are
돌리는
watching
것은
us intently,
추천드리지
especially
않습니다.
for a duel in which there is very little benefit to be gained.
또한
This
다른
includes
세계의
summoning
인격을
identities
가져오는
from different worlds or the
에고의
use of
사용
ego.
마찬가지.
Well, yeah, but it's not like we won't be using them once we get inside, right? I don't see what's wrong with... Just as I was trying to convince Faust otherwise, Don Quixote stepped in and resolutely shook her head.
아니,
Nay, worry not. 'Tis an unnecessary crutch. What? Seriously? A duel against a member of the Sink Association must be fair and just. Never did I intend to borrow thy strength, Manager Esquire, for this hallowed battle of mine. Fine. Sucks that I don't have my fans here to watch me wipe the floor with you, but I'm sure someone here will spread the story by word of mouth. I won't throw my gauntlet out of pity. En garde, petit nouveau. Oh boy, guys. Oh boy, guys. I presume I'm not supposed to win this. What's this one doing? Oh my god, he's so fast. There we go. It's over. I believe that was supposed to happen. Yes, okay. 'Tis but a light wound. Thou art sorely mistaken. If thou truly believest that such a mere wound could... That was definitely more than just a light wound. It was outright crippling, if not fatal. Camille wasn't all talk after all. He moved at an impressive speed and precision, living up to his boasts. I couldn't bear to look at Don Quixote squirm in pain, but turning the clock here would leave an even greater wound in her heart. Tis not the end. What a waste of my blade. I'd rather not have others hear this duel. They'll think I'm bullying some poor amateur. That's enough, Camille. It's no crime to wish for the safety of all victims. Yeah, but her attitude needs correction. Spouting nonsense like that, not knowing who she's talking to.
해결사가
Fix this, honor that. Justice and doesn't she know that's all just
소라는 여기까지 하도록 할까?
that's enough shenanigans.
라만차랜드에
Let's not all
진입하기
waste our
전에
strength
쓸데없이
before
힘을
even
빼는
stepping
건
foot
피하고
into La Mancha land.
더 이상 힘겨루기를 이어간다면
Cause
내가
further
직접
trouble,
제재를
and I will
해줄게.
put a stop to it myself.
약
La
1시간
Mancha
정도가
land
남았군.
ETA in approximately
1시간
1 hour.
언제
After an
라만차
hour
랜드가
from now,
나타날지
the
모르니
phenomenon may appear at any
팀마다
moment.
모여 계셔
Please
주시는
remain
게
in close proximity
안전할
to your
거예요.
teams in case of an emergency. The momentary kerfuffle came to a close thanks to the Hana Association's intervention. And only silence and occasional groans of pain from Don Quixote filled the empty lot. Let's get back inside. I can't turn my clock in front of so many people.
아직 끝나지 않았다네.
This is not the end.
주변 구경이라도 가볼까?
Well, does anybody want to take a quick stroll around the empty lot while we wait? After nervously looking around the room, Rosia tried to leave the tent, but Virgilius stopped her.
남아있어라.
No,
마지막
stay.
전달
I have
사항이
something to
있으니.
share.
Oh,
come on. Can't you give her a moment, at least until the mission's over
동행이가
with?
사고 친건 맞지만
I know that Molas really botched it this time, but nothing came of it in the end, did it?
회사 측에서 제공할 단독 정보가 있어서 남으라고 했을
Oh.
뿐이다.
The company has some exclusive information they like to share with you. That is the only reason I asked you to stay. Sir, Lord, Red Gaze, earlier what I had done.
문제 삼지 않을 테니 조용히
I won't hold it
듣기나
against
하도록.
you, so be quiet and pay attention. Oh, Red Gaze the illustrious, I swear to pledge my undying loyalty to thee.
언제나 그대에게만 충정을 바칠 것은 맹세하겠네.
Virgilius produced a small tablet, began loading something up on its screen.
우리에게 정보를 제공해줄 자는 현재
The one who will now brief us
일신상의
on this exclusive
자리에
intelligence
함께할
cannot
수
be with us in
없는
person
상황이다.
due to personal reasons.
불가피하게 기기를 활용해서 전달할 수밖에 없다는 점.
She wanted me to tell you that she regrets having to deliver the information remotely via this device. Hello? 1, 2, testing? Am I coming through?
아까는 공식적으로
Did the
허가가 된
Hana
영상이
fixer ban any
아닌
unauthorized recordings or video feeds earlier?
물론 허가는 받았다.
Of course, but we received
뿐만
prior
아니라
authorization.
이 장소에서 들려온
Besides,
모든 참가자의
P Corp is
대화는
already recording the conversations of
기사에서
every
녹음하고
participant in this
있지.
mission.
그 정도면 녹음이 아니라 도청
That just
아닌가?
sounds like a roundabout way of saying they've got us all booked.
물론
Of course, the
그쪽에서
authorization was not
대가
free.
없이 제공한 호의는 아니다. 라만차랜드를 만든
We had to
운영을
convince them
잡아온
that the information would be pertinent to
관련이
capturing the
있는
entity at the
정보라는
origin of
것을
La Mancha land.
설득해야 했지.
LCD on-site investigative reasoning team leader Moses here. I've been studying and investigating the distortion phenomenon for a long time, and that reminds me, we did have a quick call with someone from the LCD back when. She had a pretty bubbly personality, I think, and her name was... Hey, it's me again, Ezra. Been a while. Hunting blood fiends this time, huh? Don't tell me you were about to jump head first into that business without even asking the I mean, our team leader. I'm telling you now, she used to bust plenty of blood fiend heads back in the day. You tell him how you used to whoop him, boss? You go shh on a smoking pipe and went whir, whir. And, well, yes. I do have some experience with investigating and battling blood fiends. I've even met one of the blood fiend elders, also known as the first kindreds. Oh.
잠깐만요.
Wait,
제 1권속이면
one of the first kindreds?
저번에 만난 게 제
Let's see. The one we fought last time was a 6th kindred and a 7th kindred. Well, I don't want to waste your time by talking your ears off about what happened that day, so I'll get straight to the point.
일권속을
Didst thou slay the first kindred? Of course not. Yeah, 'cause she went easy on him, I tell ya. No, the blood fiend took mercy on me. Our meeting wasn't as bloody as the scene you might be imagining at the moment. In fact, she was generous enough to give me a place to sit. And we even had a moment to converse. What? The blood fiend gave you a seat? You expect me to believe that shite? Hey, rude! You do not talk to the our team leader like that, capiche? I do understand that the public's perception of blood fiends is far from amicable. But I do know that at least some of them, including the elder I met, wished for a peaceful coexistence with humans. Back then, I used to be able to state with absolute certainty that the blood fiends weren't special. They were no different from the distortions I'd faced in the past. Those wells of blood splashing inside their pupils were my evidence. But when I shared this thought with the elder, she did not confirm nor deny my assertions. But now, I'd like to make a correction to my prior theory. Blood fiends cannot be explained only through the simple lens of viewing them as distortions. Their essence is similar to that of distortions, yes. However, we eventually drew the conclusion that the blood fiends cannot be filed under that category. Our attempt to resolve a blood fiend, as one does a distortion, failed. Studies into their true origin are currently underway. You need help with Ricardo? Oh no. If your team is looking into the blood fiends, I suppose you have some publicly unavailable information to share with the rest of us. Yes, I suppose we do. I noticed on the video feed that Moses intently, yet briefly, stared at Otis before continuing with her briefing. Maybe they knew each other from somewhere. Which brings us to this. The following is what we learned about kindreds of true blood fiends, those in the same vein as the one you've already encountered. I'm not talking about the ones that manifested as distortions after the White Nights and the Dark Days incident, mind. It is said that the primogenitor of the very first blood fiend wielded unimaginable power and could embrace countless humans and turn them into their kindreds. However, starting from the kindreds of the first generation after the primogenitor, which are referred to as the first kindreds, they were restricted to creating only 2 kindreds of a lower generation in their long existences. Something about how they just can't create families willy-nilly or something like that. I drew this chart, by the way. Not half bad, huh? Yeah. I think that cassette guy was pretty disappointed about choosing Shasha as his kindred. Faust finds the inaccuracies in your statement difficult to correct due to their egregious nature. When a blood fiend of a higher generation creates a lower generation kindred, the one that embraced them is called a higher kindred, while the one that's been embraced is called a lower kindred. It is often the case that kindreds higher up the bloodstream wield much greater power than the ones beneath them.
많다라는 건 그렇지 않은 경우도 있다는 것으로 들린다.
You started your sentence with the conditional, it is often the case. Therefore, it can be interpreted as a statement that there are cases in which such is not the case. You're right on the money! Just like how each distortion is different, blood fiends are also different in ways. And our team leader will explain. I don't know if I can help much because the team I had at the time I dealt with Ricardo, and I just needed to read his abilities and stuff, and I was able to, with my team, get past him. Yes. Each blood fiend's powers and idiosyncrasies often vary depending on the higher blood fiend's abilities. However, it is usually impossible for lower blood fiends to revolt against someone higher up the bloodstream. While there is no physical barrier stopping them, there is an intense psychological barrier preventing them from doing so. Like a parent and their child, huh? Yes, like parents and their children. Considering that they even call one another with familial terms such as father, mother, and child. It is no mere metaphor. That is why they call such acts of revolt going against the bloodstream filial impiety. Just so blood becomes their axis of value judgment, so does this idea of the inviolable relationship between family members gets imprinted into the core of their very being. Upon being turned, blood fiends experience that extreme level of twist in their moral judgment.
제일 아래에 있는 피주머니들도 그래서.
And that's why the blood bags, who are at the bottom rung of the family tree. Blood bags are a different story. Blood fiends and blood bags are the furthest two groups of beings could be from family. Dregs that fail to become kindreds. To blood fiends they are, quite literally, portable bags of blood to replenish themselves at time of need. Detective, team leader. You should mention this too. You know, when I snap their necks and smash them right into the water? Yes. Blood fiends have an irrationally extreme fear of water. Water doesn't physically harm them, but every blood fiend I have seen thus far has been afraid of it. Huh? Sounds like it is a solution then. Can't we just spray them with water to keep them off our backs? Since you're about to visit their den that's crawling with blood fiends, good luck finding even a drop of water in there. Oh, and I was informed that one of you can sense a distortion. I learned this through unofficial channels, but I still wish to share. Glad to know there's someone else out there who understands this particular sensation. Oh. I'd very much like to meet you in person one day. Real shame we can't be there to see it for ourselves. Are there any famous fixers there? I heard earlier that stupid Camille kid will be there too. Kick his ass for me, won't ya? I tried to pull a prank on him, but the bastard banned me from the chat. Well, he already kicked one of our asses. Oh, Vespa! Come on, I told you to hold the line. It appears that they are partaking in quite the activity themselves. I think we can end the call here, Moses. Very well. Got any last words of advice? Any last words? I once heard that some kindreds higher up the bloodstream have overcome their fear of water. Blood eventually does get thicker than water, after all. Now, let's see if there's anything I left out. I must advise you against underestimating their bloodlust, because no matter how hungry for blood you think they are, they will be worse. What's that supposed to mean? With her last words, which left us wondering what they were supposed to mean, the call dropped. Which is discuss the merry oath of the bus driver and the manager concerning amusement parks. Merry oath? Okay. You have about 30 minutes until La Mancha Land manifests, and about 30 minutes until this stream ends for the day. Which we decided to use this opportunity to gather ourselves. Meanwhile, I had something I wanted to ask Virgilius before we left. But for that, I need... Anybody seen Faust around?
아까부터 보이지 않으시더라고요.
Not in a while.
제가
What is it,
도와드릴게요.
Dante? I'm sure I can help.
무슨
wanted to ask Faust to relay my words to Virgilius, but I wasn't sure where she was. Fortunately, Hong Lu was still here with me and noticed me looking around. I decided to ask for his help. 30 minutes, Dante. I always have so many questions floating around in my head, but whenever I stand in front of this man, my brain just seems to decide to forget them all. Why didn't you stop her earlier, Virgilius? Earlier, when Don Quixote challenged Camille to a duel.
아, 통역을 해드려야 하는 거였군요.
Aha, you needed a translator.
단테님께서 왜 아까 말리지 않았냐고.
Dante
물어보세요.
asked why you didn't stop the fight earlier. Ah, so that's your look of
장난하는
reproach.
모습이었나.
I see.
쉔크 협회는
As you must be well
방금과
aware by now,
결투로 시시비비를 가리는 것에 능숙한 협회입니다.
the Sync Association often chooses duels as a means of resolving conflicts.
나름 기사도 정신이라는
But
걸
they are
끈질기게
also well known for
익혔던
letting bygones
모양이지.
be bygones once that conflict in question has been resolved through a duel.
정정당당하고 뒤끝이
Perhaps the
없기로
lasting memory of some
유명하기로
ancient
하죠.
chivalric virtues has been pounded into their bones. I see. So picking a fight with a fixer from any other association or office might have caused a real problem for us. But the nature of the sync made this a pretty safe altercation, huh?
그 상황 오히려 결투 신청을 막는 것이 돈키호테를 더 날뛰게 했을
Stopping Don
겁니다.
Quixote from challenging that fixer to a duel would have only exacerbated the situation. Besides, Virgilius gave a long pause.
3번 수감자도 이제 정신을 차려야 할 시간이기 때문에
Oh. It is about time our third sinner woke up.
어라?
Weird.
돈키호테 씨는
Isn't
저희 중에서
Don
가장
Quixote the
정신을
most
차리고
lucid
계시는
one
분
out of all of us?
아니었나요?
No. Hong Lu's interjection was so sudden and random that I wondered for a moment if he thought we were talking about someone else. What do you mean? But Hong Lu did not correct himself. He pointed to his eye and continued.
눈이요, 단테님.
Her
언제나
eyes,
별처럼
Dante.
빛나고 있잖아요.
Always twinkling like two bright
그래서
stars.
신기해요.
They're so fascinating. Eyes, huh? I noticed that the light in Hong Lu's left eye was growing dimmer, like light fading away as it sinks into the depths of the dark waters. Wait, I have something else I wanted to ask you about. What I really wanted to ask Virgilius about was what happened on that train. But I wasn't sure if I could bring that subject up in front of Hong Lu, especially when Faust wasn't here.
왜 그러신가요, 단테님?
What's wrong, Dante? You look
안절부절
flustered
못하고
for some
계시는데요?
reason.
괜히 초조하게
No need to shiver your clock hands so nervously, Dante.
열차 안에서
You don't actually believe I wasn't
무슨
let in on
일이
what happened aboard that
제가
train, do
모를
you?
거로 생각하시는 겁니까?
Sounds like Faust kept him updated. Well, then tell me, what was going on with Don Quixote back there? No, I mean, what is she?
돈키호테 씨의
they're
정체가
asking
뭐냐고
what Don Quixote
물으시는데요?
is?
스스로 알아낼 수
Dante,
있는
it is not a
답을
wise
갖는
use of your
건
time to ask a
그다지
question to which you can
실용적이지
find your
못한
own
선택입니다.
answers.
그보다 더
Besides,
중요한
there are
질문이
more
있을
pressing
테니
questions you should be asking.
가령
What shall happen with our
앞으로
third
3번
sinner, for
수감자가
example?
어떻게 되느냐?
I get it. It's Don Quixote's turn now. But you're not going to answer that question either, because I'll get to the answer anyway, as long as I keep riding the flow to wherever it takes me. Your hands have stopped trembling. I'll take that as a sign that we have an understanding. Should you ever find yourself growing anxious in La Mancha land when things start to go awry, remember these words. Henceforth, whatever happens, Don Quixote will remember the promise, Dante. The promise. I have no idea how that word is supposed to assuage any of my fears. Virgilius isn't the type to waffle on meaninglessly, so I suppose there isn't anything else I can gather from him at the moment. Sometime later, back among the sinners at the empty lot. Don Quixote, about what happened earlier. Verily, 'tis a marvelous day. Wouldst thou not agree, Manager Esquire? It is? 'Tis! Today alone I had the joy of espying a Hana Association fixer with mine own eyes. The honor of clashing my steel against Sir Camille of Sink. And, indeed, Sir Camille was a fixer most righteous in becoming his live streams. And becoming in his live streams. I have not even announced a doubt in my mind that the kerfuffle was not but an issue of miscommunication. How did you even access his streams on the bus? Manager Esquire, forsooth, I am finally beginning to feel as though we are tackling contracts worthy of true fixers. To slay the wicked and liberate the innocent from suffering. 'Twas my dream of a lifetime indeed. Sir Virgilius will once again insist that our primary quest is to lay our claim upon the Golden Bough. Yet, I shall eradicate La Mancha land, even if it costs us our quest. And mark mine words, for I shall rescue its victims as well. Every last one of them. I stare in silence as Don Quixote boasts. I think I saw stars twinkling in her eyes, like Kong Lu said. Oh. Tick-tock. I've been looking for you, Faust. Because you have business to discuss with Virgilius, it seems. I felt like she was accusing me that there wasn't any other reason I'd be looking for her, so I couldn't help but stammer. Yeah, I think about it. I don't see her alone with Karen very often. What are you two doing here? Performing certain routine procedures with Karen. There is a certain examination procedure we must perform at an interval. What examination procedure? It mainly consists of gray matter biofusion normalcy trend test and gray matter response activity level test electrical stimuli. It also includes several other tests, including the external brain pressure variance test, the bloodstream distribution test to verify that the numbers are within the expected range, and I will stop there. I'm certainly not one to talk, but I once again reminded that Faust isn't very good at talking to people either. Herd passengers are going to an amusement park. Amusement park. More fun than the bus. Never been to one myself, but probably. It is said that individuals partaking in activities within amusement parks have, on average, an increased heart rate of 1.5 times their typical range. Why? Because they board vehicles that are meant to raise their heart rate and, in turn, their level of excitement. It is known that one of the rides most emblematic of the amusement park experience consists of the following procedure: binding the passenger to the chair and dropping the vehicle, which often takes the form of a train, from a 100-meter height to ground level within 3 seconds. Sounds like reckless driving. Must be a terrible driver, worse than Karen. Perhaps. She's one to talk, especially when it comes to reckless driving. I'm sure there are other more fun rides, right? Probably. Perhaps. We should go there someday. A real amusement park. Make a list of stuff you want to do when you get there. Karen, Dante wants to know what you want to do. When? Where? They're asking you, should a day come in which you are allowed to travel with us to locations other than the bus itself, what would you like to do at an amusement park? There was a long pause. Karen's eyes glimmered momentarily as they began to wander elsewhere. Karen wants to eat a candy there. Looks like today is one of those days when everyone gets a twinkle in their eyes. Doing pretty good with energy on this one because there's so many just straight up story chapters. Wherein is concluded the method by which eradication quests of fixers, the brave and the bold, are to be conducted. Alright. I messed up my choices.
전시 준비는?
내 작품.
대상 확인했어.
이 떨림.
시연회의 일.
녹슨 총에 날카롭지 않은 화살초.
드디어 내 차례냐?
연료는 잔뜩.
말뚝을.
다들 나를 점 찍었다. 전원 집합.
와.
이번 작품에 대해 논의할 시간이다.
Fixtures began gathering one by one at the site.
라만차랜드가 등장했습니다.
Whoa. La Mancha land is beginning to manifest.
음악 소리가 들리기 시작한
From the
시점.
moment the music began to play, which measures at 100 1,612 hours today. Oh.
라만차랜드가 개방됩니다.
La Mancha Land will be open until 2212 hours. Even when you feel like giving up on yourself. I promise.
그게 다야?
Is that it?
앞으로 어떻게
Oh. How will
살아갈
you
건데?
live on?
고마웠어.
Thank you for everything.
해결사 잡지는 잊지 말고.
Don't forget those fixer magazines.
몸을 싫어.
Please, please. I don't want an adventure. Stop. Please.
나 기가 막힌
I have conceived an idea most ingenious. It's the same phenomenon I experienced back at the Great Lake. But these memories are much more fragmented, opaque. The glimpses of Don Quixote I saw were nothing like the person I know, but should I follow this journey to its conclusion? What shall happen with our third sinner, for example? I'll understand what all these glimpses and memories mean, like I always have. We made our way toward La Mancha Land.
여기가 라만차랜드.
La Mancha Land.
뭔가
This place is pretty
섬뜩하네요.
spooky, huh? Well, considering everything's made out of blood.
그리고
I smell blood.
이곳은 수십의 실종자들을
We are contending with a phenomenon that has
한심한
devoured
의미는
dozens of fixers. Do not let your guards down.
드디어 모습을
Here they
드러내는군.
come, those blood fiend beasts. Whoa! Look! Survivors! Darn, I really could have broken my viewer count record with a dramatic shot like this.
무기를 들고 있고
Weapons in their hands? They're not civilians.
관리자님,
Executive Manager, isn't there something off about some of their outfits? Those anachronistically antique costumes are, excuse me, quite the novelty these days.
혼자 입기엔 어려운
I've
복식
identified several individuals dressed in clothes that are difficult to be worn without assistance.
누가 옷을 강제로
Meaning that
갈아입혔을
maybe
수도
someone in
있다는
there
거예요.
forced a wardrobe change on them. As a murmur among the fixers began to grow, slowly increasing in intensity, Alessio shouts from behind the line for us to stop.
아직 접근하시면 안 됩니다.
Hold! Don't approach La Mancha Land yet. We must allow it the first 10 minutes post-manifestation to expel its wastes. Stand behind the line for safety.
누구야?
Who?
어느 사무소야?
Who are they? What office are they from?
협회야?
Are they association fixers? Excitement is in the air as the fixers attempt to guess who they are. They're all from the Fire Fist office. I recognize their outfits. They're from our office. Haha, told y'all, boys. I told ya. I told y'all that the boss ladies are gonna make it. Even if we fail the eradication contract, if they can make a 15-minute testimony and share what intel they found, we'll nab the contribution reward.
적재물 추락이 끝날 때까지
Like I said,
10분간
please
접근을
hold for at
권장하지
least 10 minutes until they finish expelling. A fixer ignores Alessio's warning and rushes out to greet the survivor and helps her to her feet. Big sis! Big sis! We made it, boss! We made it! We can finally move out of that moldy semi-basement office and find a place with some sunlight. Remember how they all scoffed at us? Come on, let's go. Let's do some interviews, get paid, make a name for ourselves. Survivor's my ass. So just hold on a little longer, okay? La Mancha Land. Bloom your smiles of joy, La Mancha Land. Let's all dream free here. We hope your stay away from here. Blood bags at the gate, and they were likely turned moments before they escaped. Bitten by a small fry going by the speed she turned. The higher up the bloodstream you go, the faster the transformation occurs. Some powerful blood fiends can make it happen at will, or set it to occur at a time of their choosing.
저기
Hey, you guys seem like the experts here. Got any pro tips for newbies like us? Pro tips? Ah, I've got one. Humbly accept your death if you don't have what it takes. Getting turned into a blood fiend's blood bag is no different from death, you know. That's easy. I'm always ready to accept that anyway. Here we go.
어디에서도 볼 수 없을 색채. 필연적. 절대적.
마지막으로 남길 말.
It's just gonna become bleed versus bleed.
영감이 떠올랐다. 아듀.
이게 심장이 잠깐 됐기에.
정해진 운명이라네. 얼간의 독재. 결정. 해금.
오!
지령에게 불확실한 것은 없네.
그대는 어디까지 가고 있을지.
다음엔 당신을 소재로서
좀 긁혔어.
마지막으로 남길 말. 색지. 몸은 좀 예술적이네요.
오.
소바주.
이게 심장이.
그게요. 흥분해요.
잠깐쯤 이게 심장이.
그대!
됐기에.
흔들려.
어디 교환 말만해요?
외면의 예술을. 행복한 미소가 꽃피는 곳.
La Mancha Land. Bloom your smiles of joy. La Mancha Land, a place of freedom to dream side by side with blood fiends. We wish you a wonderful stay here.
지금부터 5분 뒤 입장이 마감될 예정이니
Oh God. Admissions end in 5 minutes. Please form a line and enter in an orderly fashion. Remember, enter through the back left and exit through the back left.
마감 후에는 입장이 어려운
Entry may be difficult once the admissions are over, so please wait by the gate with your blood packs.
얘기해 주세요.
몇 시간 후에 다시 볼 수 있는 자들이 있길 바라지.
Well then, I hope I'll be seeing some of you again in a few hours. The fixer's cold voice contrasted with the cheerful voice echoing from the announcement. She really likes making things ominous, doesn't she? Virgilius only gave us a light nod. Strangely enough, his aloof attitude was what gave me peace of mind. And the last thing I saw before the gate shut behind us was the odd look on the eyes of every P-Corp employee, all intensely fixed on the closing gate of La Mancha Land. As if they didn't even want to miss a little glimpse of it.
완벽하게 수행되었지 않은가. 하지만
What peril befell us in the case of La Mancha Land and our encounter with the Blood Fiends?
여전히 난 아무것도 인간.
Try to get some bonus.
전원 집합. 이번 작품에 대해 논의할 시간이다.
Earlier, they assigned the gathered fixers with areas.
우리는 다른 구역이네요.
Ah, looks like we'll be going our separate ways here. Different area.
살아서 만나면 좋겠어요.
Here's hoping we'll both be alive in the next time we meet. Seemed that the Bloodfiend Hunters were assigned to Area 3, Jashishun to Area 2, and us to Area 1. Pleased to be working with you guys. Name's Hugo. The fixer from earlier, whose name was Hugo, appeared visibly relieved that he was assigned the same area as us. Eternal Carnival. For your mental. Gritty and wonderful. Okay. Hey, look what I found. A map of La Mancha land. That's how you know I'm the ace of the team. The ace? I just picked up one of the dozen papers strewn about the entrance. This is an amusement park brochure with a map on it. Ugh. I don't even want to imagine what those brutish office guys would have done to me if I got lumped in with them. Who knows? They might have killed me as soon as the gate closed, or worse. They might have left my name out of the eradication fee recipients. Just awful. So, who did you guys say you were? Limbus Company office, right? It seems that he was under the impression that we were one of the numerous no-name fixer offices, but I didn't really feel the need to correct him. Ah, man. Sucks being a small-timer, huh? We always get left out of the good stuff. Not like those Sinkers Away Association offices who always get the top billing. Nay, 'tis untrue! Every fixer honored be their great valor and righteousness deserveth respect. Long have I dreamt a dream of becoming a fixer myself. A fixer fixes things. Thus, a fixer is a fixer of injustices. A fixer of the downtrodden fortunes. A fixer of all that is unjust. Thus, once we survive this encounter with this wicked place hand in hand, all shall rethink their impressions of us fixers. Wherefore art thou giving me such a terrifying look? Kiddo, what you just said was, you don't just say stuff like, once we survive this. That's... Never mind. The survivors are... Okay, let's go find the device in Area 1 then. Glance at the brochure reveals many a kind of rides here. And we are at the pretty and wonderful place. Oh, I thought it said gritty. Installed here are rides and attractions called Fixer for a Day, Fashionista Show. All this stuff just sounds like your typical amusement park stuff. It's even got themes. What rests at the incipience of this place, I must wonder. I don't know, but it ain't our business to know, innit? I ask nonetheless, for I must wonder that, shrouded beneath the scars of time, lies the place of joy it once claimed to be. Laughter, from the heart and unforced. It begins again! The eradication party! More humans, more excitement, more exciting, excited humans. Oh, if only they held this party more often, 3 times a day. So I'll send one of you back out there with 2 days to live. Go tell the boss who sent you here that we look forward to their visit later. How about this? Tell us where the device is and I'll kill you painlessly. Oh, I like it. I love it. Splendid. Words so nasty, yet blood so tasty. Don't be so hasty, though. We've got plenty of events to cover. Fashion shows, popularity contests. Oh, how so exciting, right? So this, thou hast made mockery of thy guests and fixers. Oh, almost forgot the most important thing. Can't have you skittering around here looking so unfashionable. You know that, right? Can't have our guests wearing rags that look like they've been stitched together from rat hides. I'll get in trouble. What? All of us? Hey, look closer. At least I don't look half bad, right? We'll dress you all in pretty dresses and suits. Put you up for display in the powder room and nibble you slowly for a week. Where should I taste first? I'm so excited. There are a lot of blood fiends here. Can you guys handle them? Worry not, for Nat has put a moratorium on their deaths here. They appear to be much inferior to the one we engaged aboard the train. I believe they are, at best, as strong as that prosthetic fixer. Most likely weaker. Jolly good and all that. Let's go smash him then. With Heathcliff's charge as our signal, the sinners advance, leaping into the horde of blood fiends. And once more, I will be right back.
예측할 수 없게.
개라는 소재를 통달한다면 소바지.
어중간한 예술은 물어뜯어 고칠 수밖에.
그게 통일했나요?
결정 해봄. 초월. 지령에게 불확실한 것은 없네. 예측할 수 없게. 대응 완료.
이게 심장이 잠깐 저리.
아듀. 보여드려야겠군요.
예술적이네요.
예술을.
There's only 2 left.
어디에서도 볼 수 없을 색채로.
한 사람의 상황볼과 24개의 늪골이 자아내는 티비아의 멜로디가.
Jesus. Goodbye. Eternal Carnival has a roller coaster.
약지에 감긴 세 바퀴의 반지는 마에스트로가 되기 위해 인정받은 세 가지 작품을 뜻하죠.
This one looks like straight
지금 제
fighting.
작품이 만인의 신금을
So we'll do this one. It'll be the
울리지는
last one though.
여전히 반지에 부끄럽지 않은 작품을.
저 살점을 찢으면
No story, just fighting.
친해지겠지?
양반이 떠올랐어요.
슬픔은 하나.
Since it's all just mooks right now.
어디에서도 볼 수 없을 색채로.
훌륭한 단말.
정해진 운명이라네.
예술적이네요.
소바지.
필연적. 절대적. 어중간한 예술은 물어뜯어 고칠 수밖에.
Okay. Pretty much heading out right after
그댄
this.
어디까지 가고 있을지. 마지막으로 남길 말은 이게 심장이 저를 대기해.
왜? 좀 긁혔어. 해금. 좋아. 지령에게 불확실한 것은 없네.
영감이 떠올랐어요.
미래를 과거와 같이. 저희 영감을 일깨워 주시는군요.
Here we go. Yeah. 5 minutes left, but I know the story chunks are going to take too long.
약지에 감긴
Look at
세바퀴의
my goodies.
반지는
And
마에스트로가 되기 위해 인정받은 세
got
가지
through
작품을
11 nodes at least. Made it to node 12.
지금
So,
제 작품이
We'll be back
만인의
Monday
심금을
evening
울리지는
with
못하더라도
more Canto 7. Really
여전히
interested to see
반지에
what the
부끄럽지
heck
않은
is going to go
작품을
down here. Because, oh boy.
같네요.
All right. Thank you guys so much for joining. I'll see you next time. Toodles!